BTS ARIRANG is now here. How you guys all doing? How you guys feeling? I'm pretty sure all of you have already watched the music video and listened to all 14 tracks by now. How do you feel? Were you surprised? Is it better than you thought? Is it so different from what you imagined? Well, I think everyone's reactions could be different. Let me say this. I was quite surprised when I first, watched the music video and listened to the tracks. Now, the album absolutely grew on me in the span of only 4 hours. And especially after watching this live stream that they did at 2 p.m. KST, titled Studio Notes, ARIRANG. And they talked for about an hour and a half. Okay, so in this video, I'll do, as always, the natural translation while providing context as needed while, doing my own reaction to the live stream. Now, I will try to minimize my own commentary and my reactions to the tracks. I'll make a separate video about that. I will probably do a, translation of the commentary tracks that they uploaded on Apple Music. Okay, why? Because I gotta get back to listening to the album again. I just love it more, and I want to go out for a walk while listening to the tracks again and again. All right, so that's what we are about to do. So let's dive right in. Now, before we begin, if you look at the bottom left corner, that's what they have on the website, 2026bts.com. The countdown is over, right? And now they have this swimming motion graphics. I just wanted to point that out. But now I'll turn it off for less distraction. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry.
안녕하세요 여러분. 들리겠지 마이크? 드디어 BTS가 돌아왔습니다.
Hello everyone.
안녕하세요. 방탄소년단입니다.
BTS is finally back. Congratulations, Bangtan. 드디어 means finally.
진짜 저희가 정말 손꼽아 기다린 날이네요. 진짜 7명.
Yep. So today, we have finally waited for this moment, and it has arrived.
에서 이렇게 앨범으로 또 소식 드리는 거는 또 너무 오랜만이죠.
And it's been really such a long time since all 7 of us are sharing news with an album, through an album, the comeback news.
솔직히 쉽지 않았습니다. 이 9개월 만에 앨범을 준비했다는 게 너무 쉽지 않은 길이 하나도 없어요.
Honestly, it wasn't easy preparing an album in 9 months. It really was not a simple road, he said. Jimin said. Now, can we talk about Jimin's hair? Oh, well, Yoongi's hair and Jimin's hair. They changed it most dramatically, right?
너무 오랜만이죠.
오랜만이죠. 네, 맞아요. 솔직히 쉽지 않았습니다. 이 9개월 만에 앨범을 준비했다는 게 너무 쉽지 않은 길이 하나도 없어요.
Yeah. He said, 쉽지 않은 길이었다. It really was not a simple road that they walked on. And then Yoongi's hair suddenly got so short.
우리가 에피소드가 좀 상당히 많아요.
많지. 많지.
Taeyong said, that's why we have quite a lot of stories and episodes. And they all agreed. 많지. Yes, tons.
일들이 있었고.
이 스튜디오 저희가 개인으로 컴백할 때도 항상 이 스튜디오에서 했었잖아요. 많은 분들이. 그래서 뭔가 익숙한데 좀 거기가 여기.
So Taeyong said that there were so many things that happened. And Jin here said, this studio, even when we came back individually, like solos, we always did it here. So a lot of us did. So it feels kind of familiar, but also a little. And then Jimin jumps in by saying,
새롭고 그러네요.
so that place is this place? Jin says, 새롭고 그러네요. It feels new at the same time.
나왔을 때 여기 맞습니다.
다 여기죠.
다 여기죠.
Jimin asking, so Jin, when you did your own, comeback show, it was here too? And J-Hope says, yeah, everyone was the same.
감독님 뭐
화면 바뀌는 그거 뒤에 CG 그거예요?
So J-Hope was saying that the director is also familiar, but Jimin is asking, that changing screen in the back, that CG thingy, right?
아니지 그거는 아니야.
So this live stream that Jimin is referring to is the one that Jin had back in May of 2025 when he had a comeback with Echo. And if I remember correctly, at the time, Jimin and JK were there. In fact, other members were there. Basically, they used this chat room, the live stream chat, as like a group chat, like a Kakao Talk chat or something. Taehyung was there too. That was pretty hilarious, and people were talking about it. So funny. And the CGI thingy was this, like how the background kept changing for this comeback, and like Jimin especially was kind of impressed by that and stuff. So that's what he referred to, in case you forgot. All right.
그거는 저 옆에 바로 옆이에요.
So Jin made a clarification. That studio is the one next to this one.
저도 약간 기분이 좀 이상하긴 하네요. 그렇죠? 네, 약간 반갑기도 하고 좀 벅차기도 하고. 맞습니다.
J-Hope says, I also feel a little strange, to be honest, right? It's like a bit of a warm welcome feeling, but also a bit overwhelming.
아니 나는 그 계속 이게 우리가 좀 늦게 이렇게 티칭도 그렇고 해가지고 우리 계속 음악을 들었잖아. 네. 근데 음원 사이트에 있는 거 보니까 좀 이상하더라고. 이상해요. 신기하네. 진짜 이상해요. 노래를 너무 많이 들었어.
Shiga said that for me, since we've been listening to the music continuously, the album, even through the late promotional period, including in the teaser or trailer, he says, seeing it actually up on the music streaming sites felt weird. Like, wow, it's really there. Strange, genuinely strange, Suga says.
오랫동안 들은 거는 들은 것 같아.
많이 듣긴 했어. Yeah, we did indeed listen a lot. We listened to the songs way too many times. And Jimin says, I feel like I've listened at least 100,000 times. 10만 번은 들은 것 같아요.
뭐 여튼 다행입니다. 이렇게 건강하게 앨범이 나와가지고.
V says, well, anyway, I'm just so glad that the album came out safely and well.
Okay. 오늘 좀 뭔가 좀 이렇게 우리
편하게 얘기해보면 어떨까 싶은데.
그러니까요. 뭔가
And Suga and RM suggest, I think it would be nice for us to just talk freely and comfortably today.
편하게 약간 합주실 느낌이니까 우리끼리. 나는 오히려 오늘 라이브가 걱정이에요. 좀.
And Suga says, exactly, the set, the studio even has that relaxed jam room kind of feel.
많이 길어질까 봐. 할 말이.
J-Hope says, honestly, I'm worried that today's live will run too long because there's just too much to say.
편하게 이야기 한번 해봅시다. 네, 할 말이 너무 많아서.
못했던 얘기는 또 개인 라이브에서 또 드릴 수 있으니까.
So Suga says one more time, let's just talk freely because there's really so much. And RM says that things that we couldn't get to here, we can share in our individual lives. So that's good. When the members do solo live streams and talk about their own parts and their own contributions more.
그렇죠. 소감 한 명씩 그러니까 어때요?
Suga suggests, how about impressions? Like each person, one by one. Let's take turns. How does everyone feel?
일단은 똑같죠. 저도 너무 이 순간을 너무 바래왔었기도 하고.
Well, same for me. Taeyong says, I've been longing for this moment so much.
그리고 좀 많이 길었죠. 저희가 준비 기간이 좀 많이 길기도 했고.
좀 많이 길었죠. It was way too long. The preparation period really was very long.
저희가 다 같이 전역하고 나서부터 앨범 작업을 시작하고 뮤비도 찍고 뭐 촬영도 하고 했는데 그걸 다 하고 나서도 저희가 한 연습 기간이 좀 길게 남았었잖아요. 그러다 보니
So after we all got discharged from the military, we started working on the album, shot the music video, did various filming. But even after all of that, we still had quite a long practice period remaining.
정말 이 순간만을 정말 많이 기다렸고 이제 드디어라는 생각이 정말 많이 듭니다.
So I really, really waited for this moment, and now I genuinely feel like finally. To be honest, though, for me, 9 months, that's not really a long period for an album to come out after, close to a 4-year hiatus. You know what I'm saying? But from their perspectives, it felt long, and especially thinking about all the fans who have been waiting for them.
태영 씨가 얘기했던 내년 봄이 딱 지금이잖아요.
그렇죠.
The next spring that Taeyong mentioned, that's exactly now, isn't it?
내년 봄이 딱
야,
내년 봄이
그때-
이렇게 길었나?
그때 살도 못 빼고 저
내년 봄이 이렇게 길었나? Jungkook's saying that next spring it was that long, wasn't it?
머리도 짧아가지고 앞에서 카메라 눈도 못 마주치고
낯가릴 때.
Back then, I hadn't lost the weight yet. My hair was short, and I couldn't even make eye contact with the camera in front of me. We all loved that OT75 when they did it. Which month was it? When they announced 내년 봄, next spring? It was right here. July 1st, 2025. Compare this Jimin to this Jimin.
이렇게 했었는데 이제 당당하게
당당합니까?
네 아미 여러분들과 이제 눈을
멋지시네요.
마주할
머리카락이 정말
So I was just like that, but now I can stand tall, 당당하게 or confidently. And RM or others were saying, 당당합니까? So you're confident now? And he says, yes, I can now look our army right in the eyes. And Jungkook, noticing how long Jimin's hair is,
많이 자랐어요.
네,
지금.
your hair has really grown a lot, Jimin.
거의 발모제 뿌린 거 아닌가 싶어요. 정말 빨리 자라.
딴것보다
Jimin says, I started to wonder if I had sprayed some kind of hair growth serum, 발모제. It grew so fast. So he's joking here.
시간이 진짜 안 가다가 3월 되니까 갑자기 뭐야 오늘이야? 이렇게 된 기분인데 나는 진짜 안
For me, Suga says, for more than anything else, time just wouldn't move. And then March came, and suddenly it was like, wait, what? Is today the day?
맞아 맞아.
이게 사실 이 9개월의 긴
So it
시간
really felt like it was dragging, and then bam. And same for me too. And I think a lot of you have expressed the same sentiment in the comment section. Time was dragging, and then came March, and then we're like, oh my goodness, is tomorrow? Is today? Is this week?
앨범 하나를 이렇게 정규 하나를 제작하기에는 좀 촉박하게
타이트하게?
했던 것 같아요. 그래서
So I agree with Jimin, what Jimin says right here. To be honest, 9 months is a long time, but to produce a full studio album, it was actually quite tight. We did it very tight on schedule.
무사히 나올 수 있는 것만으로도 되게 감사한 것 같습니다.
저희는
So just the fact that it came out safely, I'm genuinely grateful for that alone.
뭔가를 많이 하니까
네네.
그 시간이 되게 좀 길면서도 짧다고 느껴지는데 또 기다리시는 분들은 그 과정을 모르시니까
맞아요.
되게 길다고 생각하실 수
맞아요. 또
For us, because we are constantly doing things, the time feels both long and short at the same time. But for those waiting, they don't see that process, so it must have
그만큼 작년부터
felt frustrating.
정말 할 수 있는 것들을 최선을 다하면서 우리는 준비를 했고
정말 많이.
그 앨범이 사실 나왔습니다.
So that's why from last year, we gave everything we had to prepare, and that album has now come out.
그러니까 이제 사실 그쵸. 그러니까 뭐라고 얘기해야 될지 모르겠는데 사실 뭐
Right, exactly. I'm not sure how to really put this, but
프가 있기는 했지만 저희가 정말 이제 신곡으로만 채워서 내는 건 정말 얼마만인지 모르겠어요.
3년
so we did have Proof, the album, but releasing something filled entirely with new songs, it's been such a long time. I don't even know how long.
9개월 만에 정규
네, 그러니까 4년 만인데
So a full album after 3 years and 9 months, Suga points out. And RM says, yes, so almost 4 years.
뭐 아리랑이라는 앨범으로 또 돌아올 수 있어서 되게 기쁘고 행복하고 뭐 그런 마음이지 않나.
And the fact that we are returning with an album called 아리랑, I'm truly happy and joyful. That's how I feel.
얘기할 게 너무 많을 것 같은데요. 계속
근데
Jimin, it feels like there's just so much to talk about, endlessly.
되게 기다린 만큼 앨범의 퀄리티가 정말 남다르지 않아요?
I love when V said this. But don't you think the quality of the album, given how long we waited, is really something special? And this is what I felt throughout this live stream. The conviction, the confidence that the members are expressing about the album. And that's something I pointed out on social media, on X. And I was like, as long as these guys are super satisfied and super happy with the album, and as we will find out, it seems like they knew exact expectation. They knew what kinds of reactions that some people might show after listening to the tracks and watching the music video for the first time. And especially Jimin pointed out, and he was being like a devil's advocate while they were having a debate during the work process. But in general, these guys are super confident about the whole tracks. That's what I love about it, and that's what made the album grew on me even more. Again, in the span of only 3 to 4 hours, and now I'm genuinely loving each single track.
저희는 저희 앨범이
Shiga says right here, 앨범 너무 좋아. I really love the album. The album is really good.
좋아서
맞아.
또 오늘 재밌는 얘기 많이
네,
들을 것 같은데
이렇게 많이 이야기.
So we really love the album ourselves. RM says, I hope we get to share lots of fun stories today.
얘기를 해보시죠.
곧
So
전에
let's really talk a lot. J-Hope says. Now RM makes an announcement.
또 이제 좋은 얘기를 하기 전에 사실 되게 한 가지 약간 아쉬운 얘기를 먼저 전하게 됐는데
So before the good news, there's something a bit unfortunate I need to share first.
한 10분, 15분 전에 공지가 올라갔는데 사실 제가 멋진 무대를 위해서
So a notice went up about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Yeah, let's read the notice first. I'm pretty sure you have already saw it. BTS The Combat Live. 아리랑 update on artist participation. And when I saw that, my heart kind of sank. It was posted at 1:50 p.m. Hello, this is Baking Music. We would like to provide an update on BTS member RM's participation in BTS The Combat Live 아리랑 scheduled for March 21st. During a performance rehearsal on March 19th, RM suffered an ankle injury and was taken to a hospital to undergo a detailed examination and treatment. A medical diagnosis confirmed a sprain of the accessory navicular, a partial ligament tear, and a talus contusion, which includes ligament damage and inflammation. As advised by medical professionals, he must wear a cast and strictly limit movement for a minimum of 2 weeks to concentrate solely on his recovery. While RM expressed a firm commitment to deliver a high-quality performance at the symbolic comeback stage at Gwangun, the company, in close consultation with the artist, has made the decision to prioritize the medical opinion to preemptively prevent any further strain on his injury. Accordingly, RM's on-stage performance, including choreography, will be partially limited. I don't know, maybe he will be seated while doing rapping and singing. We ask for your kind understanding regarding this matter. We sincerely apologize for any disappointment this may cause, given the high anticipation surrounding the performance. But to be honest, if there's one person who will be the most disappointed by this whole case, that will be RM himself, you know. And I think if this this performance at Gwangun were to happen like at the end of the world tour, he would have just pulled it off. Like not caring about any pain he'll be feeling, even though that wouldn't be really healthy for his body. But this is only the beginning, right? And they have a whole world tour they'll have to worry about. So it's a great idea for him to, quote unquote, limit his performances and movements. Although RM's on-stage performance will inevitably be limited, he will do his best to participate on stage and engage with ARMY and the audience. We know you have waited a long time for this performance, and we will put our utmost effort into delivering a heartfelt show. We prioritize our artist's health and safety above all else and are committed to providing RM with all the necessary support for his complete recovery and return to full health. The BTS members are preparing diligently for this performance. We ask for your continued encouragement and support. Thank you. And let's hear what RM has to say about the injury.
제가 지금 콘서트도 함께 같이 준비하고 있었잖아요. 광화문 KBS랑 콘서트 준비를 하다가 제가 좀 열심히 했어요. 네, 그날따라 열심히 했는데 열심히 하다가 조금 발목 부상이 조금 생겨가지고.
Yeah, so I was preparing to put on an amazing stage. We were really working on the concert together and the Gwangun concert, and I was really going hard that day. And while going out, I got a bit of an ankle injury. And when he says 진짜 열심히 했어요, he meant I really worked hard. And like when they did a brief live stream at the practice room, and RM was super excited. And when I watched that, I was like, RM is really working hard on the choreography and dance. But unfortunately, he got an injury, ankle injury.
부상으로 인해서 사실 제가 제 춤 연습 진짜 이번에 열심히 했는데
So he emphasized for the second or third time. Because of the injury, honestly, I've been practicing the dance so hard this time. 춤 연습, dance practice, or choreography practice.
따로 나와서
진짜 많이
하고
들었어요.
남아서도 하고 휴가 날에도 나와서 하고 그랬는데
Jimin agrees. 진짜 열심히 했다. He really worked hard. And RM adds, like staying late, coming in separately, doing extra sessions.
지금 당장 퍼포먼스를 보여드리기가 좀 어려워서 그거를 함께는 할 수 없을 것 같은데 그래도 이제 무대에 올라갈 거거든요. 그래서 여러분을 만나는 자리니까 꼭 무대에 올라가서
But right now, it's difficult for me to show the full performance, so I won't be able to do that part with everyone. But I will be on stage because it's a chance to meet you all.
가창과 하이브를 열심히 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 그리고
So I will definitely go up and give it everything with my 가창 and hype, singing and the hype. So he'll be a hype man, rapper, singer, and hype man.
콘서트까지 조금 최대한 좋을 수 있게 아주 심각한 부상은 아니어서 너무 걱정하지 마시고요. 예후가 좋아질 수 있도록 저도 이제 많이 신경 써주고 계시거든요. 그래서
So I'll try my best and I'll work toward being in the best possible shape by the concert. It's not a super serious injury, so please don't worry too much. I'm being careful and people around me are taking good care of me too.
정말 다 같이 열심히 준비한 무대니까 그래도 기대 많이 해주시면 감사하겠습니다.
And it's a stage that everyone worked really hard on together. So please look forward to it. Thank you. So it's a heartbreaking news. And again, I'm pretty sure some fans will be disappointed. But more than that, I'm pretty sure many fans are sad about this issue and concerned about the fact that RM will be the most disappointed by what happened.
그러니까 뭔가 남준이가 진짜 열심히 했고 준비를 했는데 또 참 사람 이게
진짜 예상을 합니다, 솔직히.
예상을 할 수가 없잖아요. 솔직히. 저희도 너무
And J-Hope agrees. Yeah, the thing is, Namjoon was truly working so hard and was so prepared. But these things are just completely unpredictable. 예상을 할 수 없다. Honestly,
당황스러웠고
we were so shocked too.
그쵸. 뭐 사실 처음으로 이렇게 뭔가 딱 멋있게 공개를 해드리고 싶었는데 약간 이런
Because we really wanted to make this, debut moments, 아리랑 debut moments look amazing.
한국의 무대가 사실
너무
명으로 보여주는
그러니까요. 오히려 우리보다
Because the stage for the new song really shows everything. We wanted to show everything.
속상할 건 남준이.
그러니까 저도 이제
And there you go, J-Hope said it. And honestly, the one most upset about this is probably Namjoon himself.
같은 생각이 드는 게 이 앨범을 그만큼 정말 오랫동안 기다리시는 아미분들도 그렇고
맞아.
우리도 그렇고 이제 저희를 좋아하시는 모든 분들도 그렇고 다 이제 7명의 신곡에 대한 퍼포먼스를 기대를 많이 할 텐데 저는 가장 아쉬운 거는 그래도 남준이 형이지 않나. 왜냐면은
See, I love what Taeyong says here as well. So I feel the same. ARMY, who have been waiting so long for this album, and everyone who loves us, they're all looking forward to seeing the seven of us perform the new songs. But the person I feel most for is still Namjoon because he prepared so much.
정말 많이 준비했었기도 하고
멤버들한테도 사실 갑자기 이게 어제 그렇게 된 거라서 되게 좀 미안한 마음이고
너무
I feel bad toward the members too because this happened suddenly just yesterday. So
갑작스러워서 갑자기 전 진짜 장난스러워.
나 발목이 접질리는 게 사실 가끔 있는 일이잖아요.
그쵸.
근데 좀
the
세게
members are saying that it was so sudden. And RM says, twisting your ankle is something that happens sometimes, right? But
약간 돌아간 거 같은데
this time it seems like it twisted a bit more severely.
원래 발목 다치면 계속 다친단 말이야 발목을. 야, 나도.
우리 남준이 댄스 봐야 돼. 뭐
Suga says, once you injure an ankle, it keeps getting re-injured. And
아니 그래도 제가
했는데 많이 늘었는데.
J-Hope says that we need to see Namjoon's dance because he really got so much better.
진짜 많이 들었는데.
아니 그래도 확인하실 수 있을지
He genuinely improved a lot.
뭐, 좀 대화하면서 해야 돼.
되니까
And RM says, I'm not sure when you will get to see it.
뭐
그
네.
더 무리해서 더 다치는 것보다는
네,
이게
빠르게 회복을 하고
아니,
추후에 더 좋은 무대로
고향 콘서트까지 최대한 잘 안전.
But it's better to recover quickly than push through and make it worse, Suga points out. And show an even better stage at the 고향 concert.
하게 예후 관리해서
그래.
제가 좋은 모습으로
원래 막더막
So RM says, I'll manage my recovery as carefully as possible through the
그래서 아쉬워서 더 하려 그러다가 막 반대로
맞아요.
이런다고.
네.
맞아요.
아, 그
and so that I can show you a good version of myself. And Suga says that's exactly what happens. You know, you feel bad and want to push harder, and then it backfires.
근데 진짜 남준이 형 진짜 멋있는 부분 진짜 많은데요.
태영. But honestly, there are so many genuinely amazing moments that Namjoon Hyung has prepared. I'm very excited.
아니 뭐
아유 아쉽다.
And the way they smile about it while talk about it.
네, 이제
So it's such a shame.
먼저 드리고 싶었고 이제 앨범
조금만 기다려. Let's please wait a little longer. Right.
얘기로 이제 넘어가 볼게요. 앨범 제목이
Alright, so now let's talk about the album. Let's move on to the album. The album title is
아리랑이지 않습니까?
아리랑.
사실 굉장히 많은 예측과 궁금해하시는 분들이 참 많았었죠.
So from the very title, there were so many predictions and people wondering what it meant.
맞아.
That's right. That's right.
그리고 이제 처음에 이제 앨범 제목 듣고 갑자기 왈가불가가 많았었잖아요.
Even among us, when we first heard the album title, there was a lot of back and forth discussion. Now, this is one more thing that I wanted to put out about the live stream in general. It's so rare for, multi-member group artists to openly admit that they had disagreements while, working on music together. But then eventually, have reached an agreement and put out a complete work together. And that's only possible because of the great chemistry that they have among themselves. They are just so honest with each other. That's why they are able to express their disagreements honestly, but in a friendly fashion, in a productive fashion. That's what I respect about these guys.
뭐 그렇죠.
네.
사실 되게
괜찮을까?
예.
왜냐면 사실 이제 아리랑이라는 이 민요 자체가 이제 한국 사람들한테는 이게
너무
어렸을 때부터 이제 자연스럽게 알고
친숙하고
있는
우선
So why the debate? Jimin says some of us were wondering whether it was okay to use a title, because you have to wonder, because the folk song 아리랑 itself is something that Korean people know naturally from childhood.
우선은
때 너무나 큰 의미를 가진 단어이자 민요이기 때문에
And it's something passed down through oral tradition, and it carries such enormous meaning as
이 단어를 우리가 써도 되는 것인가에 대해서 얘기가 참 많았던 것 같아요.
처음에 들었을
as a word and as a folk song. So there was a lot of discussion about whether it was right for us to use it.
때가 미국에서 저희가
네.
표현을
스튜디오에서.
하면서
근데 그것도 이제 나중에 영상이 나온.
J-Hope says, the first time we heard it was when we were doing that session in the US. So there we go. I was wondering about, when the title was decided. The first time they talked about it was during I forgot the exact timing, but OT7 Live, a few months ago. But then J-Hope made a clarification right here. That was when they first had that music sessions, like song camp session in the US, in LA. Now let's see what Taehyung has to say while smiling. Beautiful smile.
나를 두고 우리가
그치.
엄청 이야기를 많이 했지.
So that part, that's when those guys were surprised about the title, that will be included in the documentary later, Netflix documentary. How surprised they were about it.
고민을 많이 했었는데
And they said we talked about it so much. And RM says 고민을 많이 했었는데 we debated a lot.
저희의 지금을 좀 묶으려면 뭔가 어쨌든 저희의 지금 공통점이 저희는 이제 저희를 사랑한다는 것과 한국인이라는 것밖에는 없는 것 같아요.
To find something that ties together who we are right now. Honestly, I think the only things we have in common are that we love each other and that we are Korean.
이제 멤버들 7명을 묶을 수 있는 것이 어쨌든 우리가 또 전원 사실 한국에서 온 저는 굉장히 약간 아직도 약간 촌놈들이고
So that's the only thing that can bind the seven of us is that we all come from Korea.
어떤 그런 뜻이 아니라 약간 정말 그냥 그 되게 건조한 의미로 그렇다고 생각을 하는데.
And I'm still very much, not in a negative sense, but just in a very plain, dry sense. Kind of a country boy at heart. I think we are, country boys at heart. And that's something that I made comments about when I made a video about the Netflix documentary trailer. RM says, I still believe that we are still, small country kids at heart. And like I said, he doesn't mean it in a negative way, but in a very plain, dry sense.
어떤 이제 그래서 이제 조심스럽게 또 여러 고민을 하다가 선택하게 된 키워드가 아닌가 싶습니다.
So after careful consideration and lots of reflection, I think that's how 아리랑 became the keyword we chose, RM says.
숙소에서 그 우리끼리 이제 작업 끝나면 밤에 모여서 뭐 술 한잔 하면서 얘기도 정말 많이 했었는데 제일 많이 했던 얘기가 이제 정체성, 우리다운 건 무엇인가?
우리는 무엇인가?
방탄스러운 건
Jimin, at the accommodation at their place, after finishing work, we would gather at night, have a drink, and talk for a long time. The most common topic was identity, 정체성. What does it mean to be us? What does it mean to be 방탄, BTS?
무엇이고 하다가 또 요즘에는 여러 국적을 가진 팀도 되게 많고 한데 우리 또 다 한국 사람이고 하니까.
And these days, there are so many groups with mixed nationalities, but we are all Korean. And yeah, to be honest, in the K-pop industry, this is super unique. A group that consists of all Korean members.
한국스러운 걸 좀 넣어보면 좋지 않을까라는 말이 그때 되게 많이 나왔던 것
근데
같아요.
이제
So the idea of incorporating something distinctly Korean came up a lot.
아무래도 되게 한국적이긴 하지만은 뭔가 그 아리랑이란 단어 자체가 되게 뜻도 되게 사랑스럽고 되게 뜻도 깊어서 뭔가 그걸 넘어서 우리가 표현할 것들도 되게 많을 거라고 보고 있었어가지고.
But if you think about it, it is very Korean, 아리랑, but the word 아리랑 itself has such a lovely and deep meaning. And we felt there will be so much beyond that for us to express with it.
사랑이 담겨 있는 노래라고
네.
생각해서.
많이 포용해 주셔서
그래서 이제 What is your love song이라는 캠페인도 저희가 진짜
맞아요.
We thought of it as a song that holds love within it, which is why we generally did the, What is your love song campaign,
했었던 거죠.
RM says.
어떻게 굉장히 다양한.
저는 사실 돌이켜 생각을 해보면은 정말 멋있는 결정이었던 것 같아요. 네. 뭔가
J-Hope, looking back now, I genuinely think it was a really, truly great decision.
아리랑이란 주제로 이렇게 앨범을 뭔가 이렇게 큰 타이틀로 잡는다는 것 자체가
주변에 음악하는 형들도
The fact that they chose 아리랑 as a theme of the album, title of the album.
그 이야기 하나. 이제 너네가 다시 오랜만에 나오는데 그게 타이틀이 아리랑이라서 되게 너무 좀 좋은 것 같다 이렇게 많이 해줬어요.
제 주변 분
Suga says, by the way, Suga looks great with the hair. Even musician friends around me said, you're coming back after such a long time and the title is 아리랑. That's such a great choice. I heard that a lot, Yoongi says.
들도 정말 이거는 너무 좋은 선택이었던 것 같다라고 말씀을 많이 해주셔가지고.
할 수 있게 돼서 너무
Daehyung, people around me also said many times, this was such a great choice. And Jimin says,
영광인 거고.
I'm truly honored that we got to do this.
되게 저돌적이기도 하고 되게 우리다운 느낌도
BTS
들어서
새 앨범 아리랑 그러면
J-Hope, in a way, it's bold. And in a way, it just feels so us.
처음엔 당황스러워. 그쵸. 우리도 그랬어요.
Suga, if people just hear BTS new album, 아리랑, for the first time, it might catch them off guard.
이걸 하면은
Like, eh? Why? Why?
조금
그리운 뭐 님을 향한
Because it would be strange if you kind of translate it directly,
맞아요. 사랑하는 노래잖아요. 그래서
After all, it's a love song directed at a longed for person. So
담은 노래.
맞아. 그래서 이제 여러 가지 의미로 해석이 될 수 있는 키워드인 것 같아요. 아리랑이라는 것은
a song that holds that concept of Han. And
어떤 사람한테는 어떤 저항이나 한의 상징이면서 어떤 사람들한테는 애환이나 그런 그리움에 대한 노래이고 그래서 여러 가지 정서가 깔려있기 때문에
맞아요.
저희가 표현하려는 다양한 감정들을 잘 담아낼 수 있는 또 한국에서 온 우리들
그리고 또
so he said, right. So I think it's a keyword that can be interpreted in many ways. For some people, 아리랑 is a symbol of resistance, or Han, which means grief. I have talked about that concept of Han in my previous video, right? And for others, it's a song of longing and sorrow. So because it carries so many emotional layers, it can really hold the diverse emotions we want to express and represent us as people from Korea.
해외에 계신 아미 여러분들도 되게 많으니까 이 아리랑이 뭐지 하고 한 번씩
맞아.
찾아보실 것 같아서 그게
저희가 또
되게
10년 전에 불렀었죠.
And there are so many army overseas, so they would naturally wonder, what is 아리랑? And they would, look for the meaning themselves, which is exactly what happened. And to be honest, at this point, I think international armies know more about 아리랑 than average Korean people in terms of like historical details. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing.
되게 기쁜 마음으로
이거 하자.
결정을 하게
Arian pointed out, yeah, we also sang it 10 years ago in Paris.
된 거 아닌가라는 생각이 듭니다.
I think that's why we were able to make the decision with such joy, Jimmy says.
아리랑 처음 미팅할 때 이제 아리랑이라고 했을 때 드디어 우리 회사가 이제 우리한테 아리랑 그 노래를 시키는구나 시켜가지고 진짜 깜짝 놀라가지고 우리의 타이틀이 아리랑 이거겠구나 싶어가지고.
So at the first meeting, when they said 아리랑, I thought, oh, our company is finally making us do an 아리랑 song, and I was startled. And then Jimin was singing the typical 아리랑 melody that he thought that the company would make them sing.
되게 놀랐는데. 뽀하고 있었으니까.
그치.
바디투바디
우리 먼저 얘기를 나누고 있었으니까.
그치 너무 좋더라.
바디투바디 아리랑이 들어가서 2026년에 되게 좀 재밌는 그런
나 너무 좋아.
멋진 버전의 또 다른 아리랑이 또 나온 것 같아서
너무 좋아하는 노래 정말.
Now, if you have listened to the album, you know that the first track, Body to Body, has 아리랑 at the end, right? So that's what RM said. Body to Body has 아리랑 woven in, and in 2026, it feels like a fun, brilliant new version of 아리랑 has been born.
그거 가지고도 회의를 몇 번 했잖아요.
많이
Jin says, we had several meetings about that part too. And they immediately agree. 많이 했죠. Lots of meetings. And Jimin does that hand motion. Who is he pointing to? Jin?
저희 한 6번 어디에 어떻게 들어갈 것인가 얼마나 들어갈 것인가.
So we had about 6 meetings. And Jin points out, like, where does it go? The 아리랑 portion. And how does it fit in? How much?
진짜 그런 얘기하는 거 맞네.
저희 1번 트랙이죠, 1번 트랙.
재밌었어.
And, having those conversations, Taeyong pointed out.
너무 좋아요 노래.
So our track number 1, 너무 좋아요 노래. The song is so good.
손에 손잡고 아시죠? 팔팔로.
그거에 이제
영감을 받은
중요한 버전인 거지. 손에 손잡고 해.
So it's kind of like body holds body, RM points out. 손에 손잡고, which is a 88 서울 올림픽. So Seoul Olympics in 1988. 손에 손잡고. I guess that was like a theme song. Yes. And that's where the inspiration came from. With the track number 1 is body to body. So instead of hand in hand, they are singing like body holding body. Body and body?
1번 트랙 바디 투 바디 뒷부분 아리랑 너무 잘 넣었긴 해요.
그러면 이제
So they said earlier it's inspired by that, the 2026 version of Hand in Hand, which is like a song of unity, the theme song, one of the theme songs for Seoul Olympic in 1988. And Taeyong says track 1, body to body, that back section with 아리랑 is so perfectly placed. He said it with a warm smile.
이제 저희가 이제 곡 얘기를 또 할 거잖아요.
그러니까
이제.
투에
네.
좀곡
곡 하나씩
얘기를 하면
So we're going to talk about the songs now, right? Jimin says.
하면서 얘기를 많이 하고 싶죠.
So let's go through them one by one and talk plenty.
네, 결국 사실 앨범이 나왔으니까 이 앨범 관련해서 우리가 좀 다양한 토크를 좀 해보면서
네네.
좀 시간을 가져보도록 합시다.
Since the album is out, let's take some time to have a wide-ranging conversation about it.
좋습니다.
정말 우리의 색이 딱 담긴 근본적인 앨범이 나왔고
이제
너무 기대가 됩니다.
근본적인 앨범, a truly fundamental album that captures exactly who we are has come out. I am so excited. J-Hope says.
실감이 되네요.
앞으로의 활동이
나왔네요.
그러니까 이게 그게 제일 어려웠던 것 같아요. 사실 저희가
Jimin says, it's finally hitting me that it is out. It's really out.
없는 동안 또 세상이 많이 변했잖아요.
너무 많이 바뀌었죠.
너무 멋진 뭐 아티스트 친구들도 너무 많이 나오고 후배 친구들도 너무 저희랑 다른 방식으로 되게 잘해주고 있고 그래서
I think that was the hardest part. While we were away, the world changed a lot. So many amazing artists have emerged, and our juniors are doing incredibly well in ways so different from us.
처음으로 보통 이제 사람이 오랫동안 쉬거나 어떤 위기에 닿으면은 처음으로 돌아가 보게 되잖아요. 그래서 이제
So, going back to the beginning, when people take a long break or face some kind of crisis, they tend to go back to the start, right?
뿌리의 생각을 좀 하면서 동시에 또 새로워야 된다. 왜냐면 2026년이니까 그런 고민이 되게 많이 담긴 이제 앨범을 만들려고 노력을 했다고 생각이 들어요.
So we thought about our roots while at the same time knowing that we also had to be new because it's 2026. I think we tried to make an album that holds a lot of that tension and reflection, RM says.
저는 오히려 이제 요즘에 음악 하는 친구분들이나 아니면은 정말 이렇게 다양한 뮤직비디오들이 많이 나왔잖아요. 저희가 군대 있을 때. 전 그분들 보면서 되게 공부를 많이 했어요.
For me, actually, Taeyong says, so many amazing artists and music videos have come out lately. And while we were in the military, we studied them a lot, genuinely.
진짜 거기에 대한 에너지도
시간이 많았으니까.
그렇죠.
Because we had the energy and the time while they were in the military.
그렇지. 군대에서 이 뮤비를 많이 보게 되죠.
진짜 많이 봤지. 진짜
And Jimin says, right. You watch a lot of music videos in the military. And JK immediately agrees.
공유 많이 했잖아요. 이거 멋있더라. 이거 좋더라.
진짜 공부를 너무 많이
진짜
했어요.
엄청
And 공유도 많이 했잖아요. We share things with each other a lot. Like saying, wow, this is so cool. Check this out. Because thankfully, nowadays, the servicemen can use mobile phones after work each day. So probably these guys share with each other, using group chat.
부럽고 저희도 빨리 하고 싶고 했는데 드디어 이렇게 나와서 너무 행복합니다, 정말.
So Jimmy says, I was so envious watching, and we were so envious watching, and wanting to do the same quickly. And now it's finally here. So I'm so happy, truly.
저희가 그런 거 딱 영감을 받아가지고 미국을 갔잖아요.
맞습니다.
예.
That's exactly why we drew on that inspiration and went to the US.
달간의
작업기를 한번
좀 이야기를
For-
해보죠. 그때 좀 에피소드나 이런 것들을 우리가 좀
정씨 어떠셨어요?
So for a 2-month session. So let's talk about that. How about some episodes and stories from the time? And RM asked, how was it for you, Jungkook?
진짜 재밌었어요. 시작해요.
And the first thing Jungkook says is, 저는 진짜 재밌었어요. I was genuinely, it was genuinely fun for me. I love how he used that word, 진짜, 2 times to emphasize how fun it was. Genuinely fun. And J-Hope claps.
근데 한번 모르겠고
좀 웃기긴 했어.
힘들기도 했지만 난 그냥 그 과정이 너무 재밌었어. 처음에
So I don't know about other stuff, but it was so funny. It was tough too, but the process itself was just so fun for me. And he said it earlier during the, what was it, GQ interview video, right? How fun it was for him. And he can, go back and do it again, all over again.
일단 2달이나 시간이 짧지가 않으니까 거기에 대해서 좀
약간 간만에 숙소 생활하는
So J-Hope, 2 months is no short time. So, tell us more about it.
거 같고
And Jungkook, it kind of felt like dorm life again after for a while.
지금 얘기해서 정국이 얘기를 하고 싶은데 정국이가 초반 일주일 첫 주 때 그때 없었던 사람들 있죠. 진영 없었고. 아무튼 호비 없어.
내가 아마 파리에 있었을 거야.
RM says, right, since Jungkook is talking, I want to bring up Jungkook. So during the first week, there were people who weren't there yet, right? Jin wasn't there, and Hobi wasn't there.
그래서 나랑 지민 정국이
He was in Paris.
아니 나
So it was just me, Jimin, and Jungkook.
아 형도 있었다.
Suga was there too.
정국이가
So V wasn't there, Jin wasn't there, and Hobi wasn't there.
얘가 안 들어가고 밖에 있고 얘가 낯가리고 아무것도 안 하는 거예요 그냥.
Jungkook wouldn't go into the room. He was just hanging around outside, being shy, not doing anything.
우리 둘이 얘를 방에 밀어넣으려고 했던 거 기억나? 정우가 가서 좀 불러. 너는 부르면 애들이 좋아할 텐데.
아 작업할 때.
작업할 때.
So just like that. So the two of us were trying to push him into the room. Remember, like go. Go sing. If you sing, the guys will be so happy. And what did they talk about? Jimin clarifies. Oh, so when you guys were working during the session. So when he used the word 방에, the room, they're talking about like studio spaces. Because after all, it was a song camp that they were doing. It's where artists have to like mingle with producers. To come up with new music on the spot. And to do that, vocalists and artists have to come up with ideas and different melodies by, singing stuff boldly. But for some reason, during the first week, Jungkook was all shy and stuff. And RM was like, hey, what are you doing? Go start mingling and start singing.
초반에.
아 맞아.
아 정국이가 낯을 가려서.
That's cute. Jungkook. 맞아. Right. You're right.
정우가 좀 해봐.
나 왔을 때도 약간 좀 그런
그래.
RM. So we were like, hey, Jungkook, just try something. 정국아 좀 해봐. And J-Hope says, even when I arrived, it was kind of like that.
바뀐 거고 처음에는 얘가 그냥 이러고 있다가 나와서 뭐 먹고 있고.
Well, RM says to J-Hope, right, but he changed a lot. Even that was already a changed version. At first, he would just be like this, being shy, come out and eat something.
옛날 15살의 그 모습.
Like 15-year-old Jungkook again, Jin points out.
이게
민망하니까.
민망해 because it's embarrassing. 민망하니까, Jungkook says.
사실 형도 영어를 잘 하시지만 형도 민망하고 되게
그렇지.
도전이고 그래서 저도
Jimin explains. Honestly, even though RM, Hyung, is good at English, it's still, for you, it should be embarrassing and it's such a challenge. So struggle.
눈 한번 감고 그냥 들어가서 해보고 하고 있었던 건데.
So I was just, closing my eyes and jumping in, trying things.
저보다도 너무 훌륭한 친구가 뒤에서 그냥 관전만 하고 있으니까 뭐해?
So what Jimin is saying is that I was embarrassed too, and I was being shy, but I was like, forget it. I'll just take chances and just went in. But then there's this incredibly talented guy right behind me, just watching, meaning Jungkook, and just watching, not doing anything. So I was like, 뭐해? What are you doing?
우리가 세션
들어가 임마. Just go in, dude.
이거 해줘야지 이러면서.
You should be doing this.
뭔가 귀가 너무 빨개지는 거야.
아니 이런 빨간 소스들이랑 세션을 안 해봤어.
Jungkook. It was my ears were turning so red because he was so embarrassed.
그래서 이제 한
Suga says he had never done sessions with such diverse producers before. And he's right. If you have watched Jungkook documentary behind the album making process for Golden, he didn't exactly do like a song camp style with multiple producers at once. So it must have been different for him.
한 2주 지나고
그때부터 너무 안 그냥 막.
So after about 2 weeks, though, I started to open up, and these Hyungs agree, given how dramatic he has changed, as expressed by J-Hope, as described by J-Hope.
결국에는
마이크 줘봐.
결국에는
Taeyong says Jungkook was like, "Hey, hand me the microphone," and then he does all sorts of things, like do all sorts like melodies on spot, probably spontaneously.
박자를 이걸 이렇게 하지 말고 이렇게 쪼개야 돼.
너무 큰 역할을
According to RM, Jungkook even suggested things like, "We shouldn't do the rhythm like this. We have to break it down like this." you know.
큰 역할을 해줬죠.
나는 사실
And Jimin says Jungkook played such a big role too. He really played a big role.
이번에 크레딧 같은 것도 보면 이제 프로듀서진들이 이렇게 있긴 하지만 이게 다 주도적으로 저희가 이걸 다 사실 우리 또 다 프로듀서의 형태로 들어가서 작업을 한 거라.
이거를
Suga looks great. And by the way, I love this the photo, the group photo. You probably have seen it on social media. Suga said, you know, when you look at the credits, album credits, yes, there are producer collaborators, but we were all proactively involved and we all went in essentially as producers ourselves. Suga points out.
궁금해하실 것 같아서 한국 하면서
그러니까 한국
물어보면
이거구나.
I think people will be curious, so let's go song by song. RM suggests.
그냥 비하인드 이야기 끄면 한 광고 하기 더 나을 것 같아.
이게
So let's talk behind the scenes, one by one.
작업하기 전까지의 저희가 이제 보내왔던 시간이 되게 사실 그래서 더 중요했던 것 같은데 또
You know, the time we each spent before coming back together was really so important.
진영이 먼저 전역을 해서 그 엄청 흐름을 지켜줬잖아요.
맞아.
형 투어 돌고 달려라 섭진이라는 프로도 하고 형 막 기한장도 나가고
진짜 바쁘게 지냈지.
형은 진짜 대중
And Jin Hyung being discharged first really held the momentum together, right? He did his tour, the show Run Jin, and did a Netflix show as well.
들이 좋아하는 그런 전 진영을 싫어하는 사람을 본 적이 없어요.
He really became someone the general public loves. I have never met anyone who dislikes Jin.
그래서 형은 다 물론 이제 너무 잘생겼으니까 제가 생각해도 좀 앞에서 말하면 묘하게 어려운 타입일 것 같기는 해요.
Well, obviously he's incredibly good looking. I think I can admit that he's just hard to dislike to his face.
호불호가 안 갈리는 얼굴이니까. 아무튼 형의
Because his face doesn't divide opinions. 호불호가 안 갈린다. But anyway,
역할이 제가 그때 콘서트 가서도 약간 감동
너무
받았었는데
the role he played, when I went to his concert, I was genuinely moved.
사람들 얼굴 많이 비춰줘야 돼요, 형.
잘생긴 사람들 얼굴 많이 비춰줘야 돼요, 형. Good-looking people should always have the camera on them. J-Hope says.
앞으로도 많이 비춰주세요.
세상이 친절하겠지.
아니 물론
갑작스러운
앞으로도 많이 비춰주세요. So I hope the camera continues on him, or he's asking Jin to, you know, do more of activities in the future. And RM says, 세상이 친절하겠지. The world will be kind to him because of how handsome he is.
민망하네 이거.
쉽지 않은 스케줄들이었을
고생하고 이제 정말 고생했어요.
아니야.
Jin says this is embarrassing, and RM said 고생했어요. You worked really hard.
고맙습니다.
고맙습니다.
저는
Thank
그
you.
세션 끝나기 한 일주일 전쯤에 제가 그 미국에 합류를 했잖아요.
투어 끝나고 이제
Jin says, I joined you guys in the States about a week before the session ended, after the tour ended.
투어를 하고 있었으니까 끝나기 한 일주일 전쯤 합류했는데 친구들을 이렇게 딱 봤는데 이 친구들이 막 음악 작업 되게 열심히 하고 아침에 일어나서 그리고 집에 들어갔을 때 계속 하늘을 바라보면서
So I was still on tour, so I joined about a week before the session ended. But when I saw the guys, they were working so hard on music, and when they would come home, they would just lie there, staring at the ceiling like that.
이러고 있는 거여서 나도 난 내가 힘들다고 생각했는데 우리 친구들 정말 힘들구나.
So I thought I was the one having a hard time, but I realized these guys are really going through it. They are in agony.
날 누워 있는 게 제일 좋았어. 그 낮 시간대.
형 무슨 가필드만이 한번
Suga, for me, lying on the balcony during the day was the best.
맨날 거기 누워서
RM says, yeah, 형, you are like Garfield, always lying there, just lying there. 가필드. If I remember correctly, that's a character, right? He was like Garfield, lying there on the balcony, always.
아니 애들이 한숨을 엄청 쉬는 거야.
Jin, no, but these guys were sighing so deeply.
아니 했었어요. 이제 주제를 뭘로 정해야 되는지 모르니까 다 던져보는 거예요. 이제 남준 형이랑 형 틈이 영어로 뭐예요? 막 이러면서 틈 어때요? 틈 빈틈 뭐.
Jimin, hey, so this is what we used to do. We didn't know what direction to go, so we were just throwing everything out there. Like with Namjung Hyung, I was like, Tim, like gap. What's gap in English? What's Tim in English? How about Tim as a topic or as a theme? Just a random keyword and trying to work ideas off of it.
아니 나는 갔는데 음악을 이미 막 100개 이상을 만들어놨다고 하더라고. 그래서 그럼 우리 한뭘 들어야 돼? 100개 만들었나?
Jin says, honestly, when I arrived, they apparently already made over 100 songs. So I was like, what do I even listen to? Where should I even start?
한
트랙 자체는
10에서
100곡이
120개 정도.
근데
So about 120 songs they made.
형도 내가 음악 만드는 거를 옆에서 좀 봤었을 때 진영도 생각보다 낯을 많이 가요.
Taehyung points out. But watching Jinhyung work on music from the side, I think Jin is also way shyer than you would expect.
나 엄청 많이 가지.
형 월드 투어
I'm incredibly shy, Jin admits.
와서 왜 낯가려요?
난
RM, you just came off a tour. Why are you being shy?
근데 투어하면서도 낯가렸어.
I was being shy on the tour too.
아니
난 사람들 눈을 잘 못 쳐다봐.
I just can't make eye contact with others. Well,
약간 싫은 말은 진짜 제일 잘하면서
Taehyung says, but you're the best at saying like cheesy things. 낯간지러운
그것도
말들.
이제 부끄러워하는데 연예인의 그거를 가지고 하면서 하는 말인데
형 이거 만들어
Well, I'm even embarrassed about that, but it's a celebrity skill that I'm using.
봐봐요. 형 괜찮아요. 그러니까 정말 귀만 빨개져.
그런 거에 제일 강한 사람이 호비가
So Taehyung was suggesting things like, "Hey, Hyung, try making this," and literally just his ears turn red.
태형이 아닌가?
맞아요. 태영이도 이번에 너무
맞아.
초반부터 너무 잘했었고.
되게 잘했어.
RM. In that sense, the strongest at that kind of thing would be Hobi and Taehyung, right? And Jimin says, right. Taehyung also so much like from the very start, they did really well.
네.
뭐 저는 한번 세션을 한번 해봤던 경험이
맞아.
있어가지고 그래서 이제 거기 분위기에 있어서 좀 되게 익숙했어요. 들어가서
Well, I had session experiences before, so I was pretty familiar with that kind of vibe.
멤버들이랑 같이 하니까 더 재밌고.
And since it was with the members, it was even more fun. And J-Hope had that experience when he dropped that, 3 English songs that he released after the Military Discharge, right? The trilogy.
뭔가 차이점이 있었나요? 개인 이제
아니 개인은 뭐 사실
RM asked, was there a difference compared to solo work?
내 맘대로 하지.
그러니까
그리고 내가 원하던 스타일
맞아,
말해주면서
맞아,
같이 만들어 나가고 이런 게 있는데
With solo work, you just do whatever you want, like tell them the style you want and build it together.
이제 어쨌건 팀으로서는
But
해야
as a
되는
team.
음악들이 분명하게 있고 팀의 그런 보컬의 색깔들도 생각을 하게 되더라고.
어쩔 수
이 부분에는 이렇게 어떤 멤버가 들어오면 좋지 않을까 이것까지도
There
생각.
are clearly certain kinds of music you need to make, and I found myself thinking about each member's vocal color, like which member would sound best in this section.
하게 되니까 약간 좀 더 뭔가 좀 제약이라는 게 살짝 있었지 않았나라는.
근데 그래도
And having to think about that does add a slight constraint.
호비가 또 이제 어쨌든 후반 가면서 저희가 처음에는 막 만들다가 중후반 접어들면서 이제 필요한 곡들을 찾게 됐었잖아요.
Oh, this was interesting. Still, as we got into the later half, at first we were just creating freely, but then around mid to late stage, we started identifying
곡이 필요하다. 저런 곡이 필요하다.
what kinds of songs we needed.
호비가 그때 역할을 해준 것 중에 되게 큰 게 이 노래는 춤을 추기가 어렵다. 이 노래는 퍼포먼스가 자연스럽게 그려진다. 이런 판단을 빨리빨리
저희가 이제 퍼포곡을 좀
And one of the biggest roles that J-Hope played was quickly judging. This song is hard to dance to. And this song, the performance writes itself. Those quick calls really helped. RM says.
퍼포먼스를 해야 되는 무대에서든 아니면 춤이든 그런 퍼포먼스를 해야 되는 팀장 좀 작업을 후반에 좀 많이 했죠 우리가.
J-Hope chimes in. Yeah, we were looking for performance tracks, and in the latter half, we worked a lot on tracks that needed real performances, whether choreo or stage presence.
그래서 그거 하면서 좀 이야기들, 의논들을 멤버들끼리도
나
많이 하고.
신기하더라고. 이건 춤이 된다. 저건 안 된다. 똑같은데 나한테는. 나도 비슷하고. 이거 춤은 출 것 같은데.
So RM points out that it was amazing because for me, these songs sounded the same, and I thought that choreography could fit for all these songs. But J-Hope was making calls. This one wouldn't work. This one would. So to RM, it was amazing how he does it instantly.
뭔가 여튼 좀 이따 앨범 이야기하면서 더 그런 것들은 디테일하게.
같이 한번
그러니까 곡별로 이야기가 너무 많아서.
그러면 곡별로
So as we talk about the album, now we will dive into more details like that. So 20 minutes in, I think they are finally starting to talk about the album.
들으면서 우리가 얘기를 하는 건가?
1번 트랙부터
1번
한번
트랙 쭉 해가지고
가볼까요 그러면은?
So shall we listen to the songs while and then talk about it?
하면서 하는 건가 우리?
조금씩
Are we listening to them?
들어보고.
아니 이 앨범이 또
In the background?
들어와서도 계속 추가 작업을 하긴 했었잖아요.
This album we worked on it after we came back to Korea.
미국에서 끝난 거 아니니?
후반 작업 많이 했으니까
그냥 전체적인 틀만 잡고 왔죠.
그러니까 곡을 이제 미국에서 다 쓰고
수정도 되게 많이 했고.
아이고 우리 또 이제 가사 쓰는 사람들은 또 한국 들어와서 계속 쓰고.
So they worked on the big picture, wrote all the songs, but then came back to Korea and made edits. And for those writing lyrics, they continued to work on the lyrics after coming back to Korea.
난 절반 이상을 한국 들어와서 들었어.
형은 일주일밖에
For Jin, he says, I listened to more than half of the tracks after I came back to Korea.
앨범의 절반 이상을 한국에서 들었어.
자 그럼
Yeah.
첫 곡도 한번 들어보면서 한번 이야기해봅시다. 그게 탈면 더 나을 것 같아.
So let's start listening to the tracks. I think that's how we will get to talk about more details.
이러다 밤새 얘기할 것 같습니다.
Otherwise, we'll be talking until late at night. Late into night.
1번 트랙입니다.
First track, Body to Body.
네, 강렬해요. 전 이게 제일 좋다는 사람들이 되게 많았어요.
맞아. 이거
이게
되게
너무 세가지고.
It's powerful. Arm says that I've heard a lot of people saying that this one is their favorite.
인트로 나오면 좋지. 네, 난 개인적으로는 이제 아리랑을 굉장히 이제 반대했잖아.
이 스토리도 좀 비하인드가 좀 있죠.
나는 이제 그뭐
나갈 거잖아 또 나중에.
내 개인 앨범에서도 막 부각 많이 하고 해가지고.
형은 많이 했어.
So apparently, Suga was the one who was against having Arirang as the title of the album. And why? Well, Suga has used like Korean traditional music elements before with his solo music.
호석영이랑 제가 좀 적극적으로 찬성을 했었고.
근데
And Jimin and J-Hope actively agreed to the idea, of using Arirang as a title.
지민 형이 겁나 웃겼다네요.
많이
나중에 알게 됐는데.
다큐에 나옵니다. 저희 다큐에 앨범 제작기 다큐에 되게 재밌는 에피소드들이 많이 나와요.
But it was hilarious, especially how Jimin was saying, and all of these details will be included in the documentary, Netflix documentary.
봤는데 왜 모르지?
아니 이거 너무 스포야.
And RM goes like, I witnessed all these in person, but why would I not know? But Haeyoung says that these are all spoilers. We're going too deep. Too much.
뭐지 너무 궁금해.
근데 바디 바디는 말 그대로 약간
몸에 몸 잡고요.
약간
몸에 몸 잡고.
2026년 손에 손 잡고.
2026년
So Body to Body is literally body holds body. It's the 2026 version of Hand in Hand, essentially.
손에 손 잡고 같은 느낌이고.
손에 손 잡고.
제가 사실 이 앨범에서 되게 좋아하는 곡이기도 합니다.
It's actually one of my favorite songs on the album, J-Hope points out. Such a good song.
시작을 알리는데
I think it's Suga who said it doesn't get old, and J-Hope as an opener.
되게 가슴이 울려요. 울리는 게 있어요. 이게 또
Something about it just resonates in your heart.
이 아리랑과
The feeling when your heart wells up. This song has that.
되게 어떻게 보면 팝, 힙합스러운 팝 이런 선율이 섞인 거라서 퓨전이 약간 김치에 얹은 페스츄리처럼.
It's Arirang, but this blending of the Arirang melody with pop, hip-hop, flavored pop, the fusion is like kimchi on a pastry.
그런 것도 얘기했어요.
And we talked about that kind of thing too.
스포하고 있는 거야 지금.
And Jimmy is being like, you are giving away spoilers right now.
아 그래?
김피탕? 김피탕 스타일.
김비탕의 느낌.
Gimpitang style. Gimpitang is a combination of kimchi, pizza, and 탕수육. I think 탕수육 is a Chinese fried pork, fried meat. And even though at first, if you hear about it, it sounds weird, but if you actually taste it, it's quite good. So RM is comparing the first track, Body to Body, to the combination, like the fusion of different taste or different flavors.
퓨전을 잘하면 진짜 맛있거든요.
아 근데 퓨전이 진짜 잘.
When the fusion is done well, it's genuinely delicious. And the way RM says 맛있거든요, delicious, in a like a funny Americanized English way, 맛있거든요. That's pretty funny.
알겠어요. 기분 좋게.
그러니까 결국 모든 관객들
So they point out, honestly, the fusion turned out really well in a feel-good way.
함께 좀 즐기기 좀 제격인 곡인 것 같기도 하고.
정말 관객들이 아리랑을
In the end, I think it's a perfect song to enjoy together with the audience.
이 외국인 분들이 다 따라 불러주시면 정말 웅장할 것 같은 느낌.
근데 그러면
If the audience, the international fans especially, all sing 아리랑 together, it will be genuinely magnificent. So there you go. The chances are they will definitely sing this one tomorrow during the comeback show in Gwanghwamun. And yeah, for those of you attending in person, it will be a great idea to memorize that part. Honestly, you don't even have to memorize. It's pretty easy to sing along.
진짜 이것도 지금 저희 노래 한 부분이잖아요. 그렇죠. 이 부분은 사실 외우기도 쉽고 따라 부르기도 쉬우니까 그러니까 공연을 할 때 하면
There you go. Jin explains right here. It's part of our songs now, so this part is easy to memorize and sing along to in a concert setting.
팬들도 아마 되게 익숙할 거예요, 되게.
맞아요.
And I'm sure non-Koreans will get used to this too. Suga says.
저는 여튼 뭐 오프닝으로도 너무 좋은
Oh, I think there's one detail.
공연을 할 때
외국인
하면
자체가 펜타토닉이라 외국인들도 아마 되게 익숙할 거예요, 되게.
Yeah, so he was using a musical term because it's pentatonic. International fans will probably take it naturally. And pentatonic is a scale, a 5-note musical scale, widely used in rock, blues, and folk music due to its versatile, harmonious sounds. And that's why Suga is saying. That's what Suga is saying. Because it's in the pentatonic scale, international fans will be familiar with the sound and the melody.
맞아요. 저는 여튼 뭐 오프닝으로도 너무 좋은 곡이고 뭐 엔딩으로도 너무 좋은 곡이고 콜로도 네, 진짜 너무 좋은 곡이 나온 것 같다라는 생각이 듭니다.
J-Hope. Anyway, it's a perfect opening song and also a perfect closing song too. Great as an encore too.
공연을 되게 하고 싶어하는 멤버들의 마음이 참 잘 녹아 있는 것 같습니다.
I think the members' deep desire to perform really shines through in this song. Meanwhile, Jungkook is dancing.
아, 저때 딱 들었을 때 진짜
근데 나는
죽었다.
J-Hope goes, when I first heard it, I was like, this will be killing everybody. Like everyone's gonna be dead, and he would start to dance like that.
그라데이션 인정했던 것 같아. 처음 듣고 이거 진짜 아니지 않아? 두 번째 괜찮네, 한 번만 더 들어볼까? 그러니까 오케이 인정.
For RM, it was like a gradual acceptance. First listen, this really isn't right, is it? Second listen, okay, this is fine. But one more listen, he was like, okay, I accept it. Start clapping.
약간 2단계가 있었죠.
아리랑이라는 곡이
So there were stages.
워낙 어릴 때도 많이 듣고 그리고 약간 그런 요소를 좀 많이 썼잖아. 무슨 몇 주년 뭐 특별 무대,
축제.
뭐 이런 거에서 이렇게 이런 식으로 리믹스 많이 되다 보니까 나는 마지막까지 하게 됐는데.
Okay, so here Suga is explaining why he was initially hesitant about using 아리랑 as a title. So the 아리랑 melody was all heard it so much growing up, for these guys, and it's been remixed and reused so many times for anniversaries, like special stages and festivals. So I was hesitant right to the end.
이게 완성되고 딱 듣고 나니까 너클이 잘했다. 근데 그게 한국인이니까 이게 그렇게 생각할 수 있겠는데 한국을 제외한 나머지 사람
처음 듣는 경우가 훨씬 많죠.
일본 트랙이고
실제로 많이
So, but when the final version came together, I heard it and I thought, damn, they really nailed it. But that reaction is because I'm Korean, I realize. But for everyone outside of Korea, it'll be different because most of them will be hearing it for the first time. And it's like,
너무 좋았습니다.
You know, hearing any country's music for the first time, that freshness. So I ended up loving it. It was so good. So I'm not sure whether Suga was initially against the idea of using ARIRANG as an album title or using ARIRANG melody for this particular track, Body to Body. I guess we will find out when we watch the Netflix documentary.
네.
자 다음
다음 곡을 한번 들어볼까요?
Next track, Hooligans, track number 2.
야, 근데 이거 작업했던 그 방, 긴초방 이야기해줘 빨리.
이건 사실
이 둘이잖아.
아니야 나는 내가 딱
So the room where this was worked on, Gincho-bang. So Gincho is a producer behind this track, El Gincho, and they're about to praise this producer.
시작을 했을 때 정국이가 이 곡을 작업을 하고 있었고
So when I first arrived in the States, Jungkook was already working on this song, J-Hope explains.
정국이가 갑자기 호영 빨리 여기 들어보라고 해가지고 그냥 가서 그러면 싸움이 녹았어.
And J-Hope, Jungkook said, "Hobi young, come listen quick." So I went in and listened.
네, 정국이가 이제 좀 이렇게 많이 컨트롤을 했었는데 아니 근데 이 곡이
And I was like, "Did you write this?" So apparently Jungkook had a lot of control over it.
흡견이 그러니까 왜 생각난 건지 모르겠는데
축구 봤어 전날에?
아니 안 봤어요. 그냥 뭐 하다
The word hooligans, I'm not even sure why it came to him, why it came to me. And RM asked, "Did you watch soccer or football the night before?" He goes, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't."
이게 생각이 난다. 갑자기 그래가지고
It was like just doing something, and suddenly hooligan came to coming to mind.
이걸 전달을 해서
이걸 웃을 때 그러지 뭐.
So I passed it along,
이게 제목이 될 줄 몰랐어.
but I never expected it to become the title of the track.
근데 그 훌리건이 나왔기 때문에 사실 지금 이런 형태가 된 거거든.
근데 멜로디
RM says the fact that hooligans emerged as a keyword is actually why it took the shape it did.
도 원래 초반은 이거 아니었지 않나?
맞아요 수정
많이 바뀌었어.
뒤에 멜로디 바뀌고
어제 그 Watch This, Watch This.
Suga points out the original melody wasn't like this either, right? Right, it changed a lot.
이 공의 훌리건 이게 너무 잘 잡아.
아니 애기가 진짜
야,
나 사운드
The back melody changed, and also the chorus. Watch this, be going hooligan. That just grabs you perfectly, RM says. Yeah, to be honest, when I first listened to the track, I was like, But then, again, it grew on me. And I was, at this point, I'm like, watch this, this be going hooligans. Pretty catchy.
와 진짜
이 엘긴초가 진짜
맞아 근데 트랙이 한 칸에 아 근데 이 노래 너무
그러면서 아 이번 앨범은
나는-
엘긴초가 좀 한 칸 하겠다라는
나는
생각이
이거-
And they're saying, when I heard the track for the first time, when I heard the sound, I was like, wow, El Gincho really brought it. The track is really lethal. And after listening to the song, J-Hope thought El Gincho is going to cut through this whole album.
이번 앨범에 애긴초가 너무
없었어요.
진짜 잘했어.
들려주는 트랙들마다
Yeah. So every track that El Gincho showcased was amazing. Taeyong points out.
로잘리아라는 아티스트가
맞아.
거의 오른팔이에요. 거의 엄청 많은 커리어를 함께 했는데
El Gincho is essentially an artist Rosalia's right-hand man, RM explains.
정말 그 비트를 쓰는 그 방식이
깜짝 놀랐잖아.
너무 특이하고
He has such an extensive career with her, and his approach to beats is just so unique. El Gincho. Watch this, be going hooligan. Okay. Interesting.
다르더라고요
호법이 달라.
보법이 다르다 means he's on another level.
그 말이
우리 긴초랑 계속
걷는 방법이 달라. So 보법이 다르다 literally means the way he walks is different. So that's exactly the word. His footwork is different. But in Korean, it means someone is on another level.
진짜 많이 했지
나 트랙 만들
Taeyong says we kept trying different things with him, trying this and trying that a lot.
입장에서
와, 저 트랙을 어떻게 저렇게 만드냐 이런 생각들.
방법이 달라.
아니 그
The Suga was literally mind blown. From a track making perspective, I was like, wow, how does he make tracks like that?
방에 있던 한 친구 막 게임팩으로
맞아. 근데 그것도 제작이래 그 게임 프로그램이.
그러니까 자기가 DAW를 만들어서
그걸로
이거 패드로
그거 아직 안 나온 건데.
So they're explaining one of the guys in the room studio was doing it with a gamepad, like right on the spot. Apparently that's the actual production tool, a game program. And I have never heard of making music with a gamepad. And the word DAW, that's referring to a software, music recording software tool. So that guy basically built his own DAW and makes it on a gamepad. And it's not even commercially released yet. It's DAW software, like Logic Pro or Pro Tools. And what I noticed was how excited these guys look and sound while talking about how amazed they were, witnessing a different work process that international producers were doing. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are still learners, and like RM pointed out, in a dry sense, still small country kids from Korea, and they are absorbing everything as a sponge. That's what I noticed, and it felt great watching this excitement in real time.
네.
패드로 만들더라고.
이게 상상은 안 되는 건데.
아 진짜.
You know what I mean? It just shows how much they love music as musicians, and that's why they continue to evolve. And for those of you who believe that this album sounds just so different from their past music, I think we gotta keep in mind that it's just, to me, it's very incredible and refreshing that these artists of this global scale are trying different things and are willing to try different things, in their career. And I genuinely believe that we are witnessing only the beginning of this new chapter 2.
아무튼 정국 씨가 정말 큰 역할을 했고 이제 그런 노래다.
너무 좋죠.
Going back to Jungkook, RM says Jungkook played a major role on this song, and it's just that kind of song, so good.
우리가 큰 역할을 했고 그런 노래다.
Jimin is laughing because of the way RM ended this talk. Jungkook played a major role on this song, and it's just that kind of song. Jungkook giving a thumbs up. That's adorable.
하기도 하고
맛이가 있다.
되게
맛이가 있다. The song is delicious. That's the phrase that people like to use nowadays in Korea to describing something that sounds pleasant or something that's good in general. The song sounds delicious, or the song is delicious.
정국
설명이 맛있는데요?
근데 이거는 가사 하나가 없어요. 홀리건.
나 작업하면 내거 작업하는 거 되게 재밌었어.
While working on this song, it was pretty fun. Suga points out.
이상무.
이상무.
자, 다음 곡 넘어갈까요?
이상무, that's from the Suga's verse, I think. Watch this. Hooligans. J-Hope, RM, Suga. I love every verse that Suga wrote on this album. I mean, I basically love each track. Here we go. 이상무. 시간 됐으니 좀 비켜 좀. All clear. 이상무. All clear. No problems. Right.
Alien.
Oh, aliens.
이것도 이제
이거 누가?
So-
아닌가?
나
This
맞아.
track-
우리 둘이는 맞아.
그냥 형이도 같이 방에 있었고.
So they're wondering who did this one? J-Hope, the two of us, right?
이제 형이 이
맞아,
곡을
태형이-
하고 있을 때
나는
제가
후반에
들어봤었어요.
나는 후반에
거 작업하는 거 되게 재밌었어.
아우
Let's listen one more time. These guys were like talking over each other.
이것도 이제
이거 누가 한 거야?
J-Hope and Taeyong. Oh, we can just simply look at the credits. Aliens. Mike Will made it, main producer. And RM, J-Hope, Jungkook and Suga. Taeyong? Okay, Taeyong's name is not in it.
우리 둘이는 맞아.
그냥 형이도 같이 방에 있었고 이제
So Taeyong was in the room with them.
형이 이걸 하고 있을 때
나는
제가
후반에
들어봤었어요.
나는 후반에 뭐 몇 개 도와줘.
이게 원래
Yeah, so they came in the later part of it.
아예 그
맞아.
곡의 송성이 구성이 없었어요.
맞아.
그러니까 이거는 그냥 보르르 가자. 멋있을 것 같다.
도는 느낌이 아니라
Originally for this track, there was no song structure at all. The idea was just let it roll, just flow straight through. That's why he made that sound. 후루루루, you know, just going through.
이거 가사가 뭐였더라?
원래 이게 엔들레스였는데
The working title of the track was Endless originally,
이게 너무 내용이 없는 것 같아서 거의 발음이 똑같아.
but Endless felt too empty in terms of content, and it also sounds almost the same as Aliens. Endless, aliens. Okay, I guess.
에일리언스랑 그래서 이제 그렇게 바꾸고 좀 이제 한국에 대한 얘기를 많이
그렇죠. 이 가사도 되게
So we changed it to that, and the lyrics talk a lot about Korea. I really love the lyrics for this track. It's pretty witty.
네, 좀
아니, 그리고 우리가 작업하는 도중에 그러니까 그리고 요한 1년 상간에 막 무슨 저기 뭐냐 데몬헌터스 나왔지 막 한국 관련된 요소들이 되게 많아져가지고
And during the production period, within about a year, things like K-pop Demon Hunters came out. So many things connected to Korea that there was
할 수 있는 말이 되게 많았단 말이지.
there was so much more to say.
오징어 게임도 저희 쉬는 동안 나왔었나?
Squid Game too.
3가 그쵸 3가
원은
Season 1 came out around the COVID.
그 상간에 한국의 위상이 엄청 높아져가지고
So Korea's standing in the world went through the roof.
한식도 갑자기 막 너무 잘 되고
이제 진짜
The Korean food suddenly blew up too.
사우스인지 노스인지 안 물어보더라고.
And now people really don't ask anymore if it's South or North Korea.
난 너무 감동적이야.
That generally moves me.
폴란드 이상하게 생각.
정국이 울었잖아. 언제 울었지? 나 그 캐대안 보면서.
아 울었지.
나
정국이 울었잖아. 정국, you cried while watching K-pop Demon Hunters. Jimin saw it. That became a meme, right? When the male character died, he was so sad.
곡도 곡인데 가사도 너무 재밌다.
This song, the track itself is great, but the lyrics are so fun, Jho points out.
그래도 RMC가 또 재밌게 가사들을 많이
이 노래
이거
병원 또 형밖에 못해.
RM wrote such interesting lyrics. That's the flow that he did for his verse, especially the second part of his verse. I love this track. Yeah, 영어는 또 나밖에 못해. I'm the only I'm the only member who can speak English, but that is how we kill. I love this track. I will talk more about the tracks when I do the translation for the commentary.
저는 자랑스러운 게 영어를 어쨌든 구사하는 사람이 한 명밖에 없는데.
Okay, right here he says, but what I find so proud, there's only one member who is genuinely fluent in English,
되게 많은 아미분들 사랑 받잖아요.
and yet we receive love from ARMY all over the world.
너무 저는 뿌듯해요 사실.
That's something I'm so proud of. But Jimin says,
동시 아니잖아요.
though at the same time, it's also kind of, well, not.
왜냐하면은 미국에서
Because Jungkook says you get stressed a lot.
활동을 10년을 넘게 했는데 아직도 영어를
Because we've been active for over 10 years in the States, and it's still like this. And look at RM's face. And apparently RM says, you guys are still like this? And according to Jungkook, RM says stuff like, hey, just one more person, one more member, meaning one more member who can speak English with me.
그래서 나는 공부도 하고 있는데 야 이게
So J-Hope says, we are all studying in our own way, but man, it's so hard.
침대 축구 하고 싶어. 나도 티키타카 하고 싶다고.
So he is using soccer terminologies. It says that I would love to play teamwork style too. I want to do tiki-taka. That's like the term that Korean soccer lovers use to describe the beautiful teamwork play that the national Spain soccer team does. Passing balls beautifully to each other. So he would love to have that back and forth conversation with other members in English, but he can't.
나 혼자 떠들고 나 혼자 해석하고
한 명만 더
나 혼자 떠들고.
So I want to banter back and forth, right? But I'm out here talking by myself, translating by myself.
해석도 대충 하잖아요.
근데 또 알아들어 우리가.
And Jimin says that, and he does translations just roughly. But J-Hope says, but we all understand eventually.
아니 근데 뭐 대충 뭐 근데 그 뭐냐 알아듣기는 해.
그쵸 다들 뭐 다 영어 막.
형 근데 이게 아무리
But Suga says, when we work with other producers, though, we can communicate in English.
연습해도 그걸 실전에서 써먹기까지 좀 걸리는 것 같아요. 그렇지.
Taeyong. But no matter how much we practice, applying it in real situations takes a while. And that's true. That's, what it is like, learning a language.
형, 시대가 발전돼서
한 5년만
이제 안경 같은데 이제 나올 거야 이렇게. 그래도
I just noted, Jungkook and Suga were different in terms of their reactions. So Jungkook was like, give us 5 more years and we'll be good enough with English. But meanwhile, Suga was saying that in the future, wait. Was Jungkook the one who says 5 years?
그쵸 다들 뭐 다 영어 막.
형 근데 이게 아무리 연습해도 그걸 실전에서 써먹기까지 좀 걸리는 것 같아요. 그렇지.
형, 시대가 발전돼서
Yeah, 시대가 발전돼서 so technology will advance and
이제 안경 같은데 이제 나올 거야 이렇게.
they will release something like smart glasses that do it for you. That was Suga's approach. While Jungkook's approach was just give us another 5 more years.
그래도 요즘 듣는 건 좀 된다.
But through these days, listening comprehension is getting better, J-Hope says.
나이가 안 돼서.
아니면 듣는 건
Speaking is rough though.
유이가 영어 하면서 현탄을 낄 때 자기 혼자 막 그 상대방이랑 대화하고 막 웃으면서 이런 식으로 대화했어 이러면서.
Jin explains, RM said there are moments when he has a reality check while speaking English. Like he would have a full conversation with somebody, be laughing, and then he would come back and tell us about it, what he was talking about in English.
우리들한테 얘기해 줄 때 되게 좀 그런 거 느끼는 것 같더라고요.
늘 고맙다.
So when he was, telling us about the conversations that he had, that was really awkward for him.
남지가
정말 고맙다 남준아.
고맙다. The members are all expressing their appreciation for Namjoon.
신 발음 벗어.
Oh, I love that. 너희들의 사랑하냐. I love you guys.
신발을 벗었어요. 그래서.
신발을 벗어나. That's a reference to, again, RM's line in his verse. I think it's here. 신발을 벗어나. Take off your shoes. Because you know how in the States, people wear shoes indoors. This is actually a line delivered by Jimin, but maybe written by RM. But in Korea, people are generally shocked whenever they first find out that people in the States, American people, wear shoes inside their houses. So that was a reference. So J-Hope was using that, but RM said that I did indeed take off my shoes because he's wearing that thingy because his foot is injured. For now. Cast.
너무 신나죠.
And next track is Fire.
이 곡은 정말 마지막에 결정된 곡이죠.
이 곡은 제가 진짜 밀었고 제가 너무너무 좋아하는 노래인데.
So this track was truly one of the last songs decided on, and RM says I really pushed for this one. It's one I love deeply.
형이 밀었던 곡 2개가 있죠.
밀었던 곡이 2개가 있는데.
There are 2 songs that RM pushed hard for. This was one of them.
Fire라는 노래고 이게 저희 작업실에서 어떻게 시작되냐면 제가 JPEG 마피아를 엄청 좋아해서.
So this is how it started in our studio. I love JPEG Mafia, the producer behind this track. JPEG Oh yeah, there you go. JPEG Mafia.
이제 그 초대를 해달라고 했어요.
So I asked to invite him in.
아 멋있더라. 가죽 자켓 딱.
너무 멋있었고.
It was so cool, the leather jacket look, so sharp.
아 여름인데 그 가죽 코트를
그러니까.
입고 와 대단하다. 여름 남자들은 원래
그러니까.
덮여 있잖아요.
And then he came wearing a full leather coat in summer. And like, wow, incredible. And you know, stylish people always dress hot on purpose during summer. Okay. I see the type of style that they're talking about.
그래서 이제 와서 플룸이랑 같이 이제 작업을 했는데.
So he came in and we worked with Flume together.
우리 뭐였었지?
그 둘이 앨범을
나
정말.
플럼 되게 좋아했어가지고.
So those two are both so unique. We loved Flume's stuff so much.
정말 독창적인.
근데 정말 그 이제 사실 우리가 작업실에서 이번에 확실히 하나 배웠잖아요, 표현.
But honestly, in the studio this time, one thing we definitely learned was that expression.
That's fire.
That's fire.
이 얘기를 맨날 했어요.
We said it all the time.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. 맨날 했잖아.
We learned that expression and use it all the time.
That's fire. 그냥 이렇게 해보면 어떨까 했는데 이제 JPEG 마피아 갑자기.
So while listening in the lounge one day, I thought, what if we just do That's Fire like this in the song?
JPEG 마피아 좀 생각나는 거 있으면 해줄 수 있어요? 갑자기 마이크 잡고. 이렇게.
So he asked JPEG Mafia to try something using the phrase, and he suddenly grabbed the mic and continued from there, right on the spot.
그걸 이어서 바로 하더라고요. 그래서 듣고 됐다 이거다 됐다. 그래 그랬었잖아.
So we heard it and we were like, that's it, done. That was it.
이거는 저는 무대를 하면서도 제일 재밌을
나도
노래 중에
벌써
하나인 것 같아요.
쓰면서 되게 재밌었어. 나 되게 일부러.
And I think this will be the most fun to perform on stage. And Suga says, for me too, even while writing it, it was so fun.
좀그 2000년 초중반에
약간 원타임.
감성의 랩을 좀 하고 싶은 거야.
I intentionally aimed for that early 2000s rap energy. Like, for example, there's a rap group called One Time in Korea.
가사 쓸 때도 막 평소에 막 엉투 막 이런 거 안 쓰면 돼. 그냥 좀 그냥 딱 들으면 그냥 이거 듣고 좀 웃었으면 좋겠다 해가지고 그냥 나. 재밌어.
So when writing the lyrics, I didn't need to like overthink or layer too much. I just wanted people to hear it and laugh a little. 엉뜨, that's one of the words that he used in the lyrics in his verse. It refers to like a seat, drivers in a car, the mode where you can turn on the heater on your seat so that it makes it makes your butt warm. It literally means butt being warm. 엉뜨.
곡이 되게 빠르잖아요.
엄청 빠르게.
The song is super fast.
그리고 사실 저는 남준형이 강하게 이게 추천했던 노래가 앨범에 2개가 다 들어갔는데 저는 사실 둘 다 반대했었거든요.
Actually, both of the songs that Nam Jun-hyung pushed hard for ended up on the album, and I was against both of them. See, again, the fact that these guys can openly talk about this is a beautiful thing, and it can only happen because of the chemistry that they have, and the trust that they have, and friendship that they have with each other.
이 노래 그러셨죠? 나는 끝까지 찬성하진 않아.
난 진짜 되게
좋아했어.
Jungkook, meanwhile, loved those songs.
무조건이라고 했잖아요.
아 다행이다.
근데
깜짝 놀랐구나.
무조건이라고 했잖아요. I said it was they should be on the album absolutely.
너무나 이해하고 빠지면 큰일 날 뻔했지만 그때는 사실 이게 멤버들이 녹음한 버전도 아니었고.
맞아.
Now I completely understand. It would have been a disaster if it hadn't made it in, Jimin says. But at the time, it wasn't even the members' recorded version yet, meaning it was like a demo version with demo recordings.
그 완전 러프한 버전이었어. 들었을 때
그려지니까.
우리 아미 여러분들이
So it was a total rough version. So when I first heard it, and RM says, yeah, maybe you couldn't picture it yet. And Jimin goes,
좀 어렵지 않을까? 이 생각이 전 더 들었던 것 같아요.
I was more worried. Will ARMY find this difficult to take in?
만들어주고 나니까 감사합니다.
모든
So that was my bigger concern. But once it all came together, I was like, oh, thank goodness.
이게 제작 과정에 있어서 이 러프한 버전 그리고 이걸로 그런 거를 듣는 게 듣고 보는 게 약간 어려운 거 같아. 진짜 어려운 거 같아. 이번 앨범 작업하면서 더 느꼈고.
So J-Hope realized that hearing and seeing a rough version is genuinely hard. Making decisions solely based on the rough version is pretty hard.
목소리가 들어가 있어.
예.
녹음을 해봐야 거야.
확실히
So I felt it even more while making this album.
데모
Until our own
에서 듣는 거랑 마스터랑 확연히 차이가 있고 그리고 이제 멤버
so until our own voices are in is hard, and Taeyong says the difference between hearing a demo and the master is night and day.
목소리가 들어가면 또 되게 달라져요.
맞아.
보통 한 사람이 부르잖아.
맞아.
And when the members' voices go in, it changes everything again.
한 명이 이제 쪼개서 들어가면 다채롭게 들리기도 하고 그래서
이게 재밌는 게
Usually just one person sings the demo, but when 7 people each take parts, it becomes so much more colorful.
데모에서 진짜 좋았다가 막상 녹음해보니 별로인 것들도
많았지. 야, 그래가지고 킬한 것도 좀 많았어.
잘 나간 거 같아.
What's interesting is that some demos we loved, then when we actually recorded them, they weren't working. So quite a few got cut.
괜찮아요.
got killed or got cut.
좀 아닌데 생각했는데 막상 우리 목소리가 들어가니까 너무 좋아진 것도
차이도
있고.
나고.
So many got thrown out, but then opposite happened too. Some demos we thought were so, but not really. But once our voices went in, they became amazing.
잘린 노래도 되게 많구나.
엄청 많지.
우리
100곡이 넘지.
So Jimin realizes there are a lot of songs that got cut, and Jungkook says, 엄청 많지, so many, over 100 tracks total.
그래서 저장한 곡도 몇 개 있어요.
I saved a few of them for myself, Taeyong says.
나도 4개 가져왔다.
I took 4 of them, Jimin says.
몇 개 있어.
나도 좀 할 걸.
Suga took some, and J-Hope took 2, and RM was like, 나도 좀 할 걸. I should have, taken some as well. RM, hey, you guys, when did you guys all, take these tracks for yourselves? Let's play Rockstar Papers.
나중에 야 말하고 써라. 자 다음으로 들어볼까요 그러면?
사다리타. So, yeah, I mean, again, these guys are ambitious musicians. So they are, planning ahead. Maybe, someday, while they are working on solo music, they can recycle these tracks that they worked on while they were working on ARIRANG during the song camp in LA. So this is a funny segment.
바로 반대했던 두 번째 곡.
So this was the second track that Jimin was against.
이거를 반대하는 거예요. 그래서 저는 이게 말하면 스포하다 진짜 말할 수 있는데 이거는 무조건 이거를 위해서 꼭 있어야 되는 노래잖아.
So Jimin was against this one too, RM says. And I couldn't fully explain right now because it would be a spoiler, but this song absolutely has to exist for a reason.
이거를 하려면 꼭 이게 필요하다.
If you're going to do that, this needs to be here.
나왔는데 스포랄 게 있나요?
But it's already out now. Is there anything else to spoil?
뭔 소리인지 알고 그 제가 반대했던 이유는 사실 제 소화력에 문제가 있다고 느꼈기 때문에.
I totally get what you're saying now, but my reason for opposing it was honestly that I felt my delivery might not be up to the challenge. And the track that they're talking about is 2.0.
보컬 애들 좀 힘들어했지.
이거는 모두였어요.
And the vocal guys struggled with it.
이게 다 힘들어했고.
It was generally difficult for everyone.
훌리건은 심지어 잠깐 중간에 벌써 멜로디가 나오는데 이거는 정말 보컬 친구들이 부르는 멜로디가 하나잖아요.
So they struggled. This is really a hip hop sound. Like even Hooligans has a brief melody in the middle, but this one, the one melody the vocal guys have to carry is literally just one line, the do do do.
You know how we do.
이게 별게 아닌데 이게 너무 어려운 거예요.
It seems like nothing, but it is so hard.
가 진짜 어려워요.
You know how I do.
The groove is generally difficult.
아니 웃긴 게 나 그 바로 옆방에 있었거든. 그 테이블 하나 만들어 놓고 그 녹음 이게 우리가 여기 부스가 있고 녹음 부스가 있었잖아. 거기서 이제 혼자 기타 좀 작업하고 있는데.
So the funny behind the scene is, I was in the room right next door, and there was a booth set up, the recording booth. I was in there working on guitar by myself, and I kept hearing 뚜뚜 sound for literally about 6 hours.
이거를 나랑 형이랑 정국이랑
생각해보면 그때 세션 방에 저 정국
It was Taehyung, Jin, and Jungkook,
태영 이렇게 세 명이 있었고
the 3 guys.
비트가 계속 나오고 있어.
And the beat was just playing.
정신 나가.
빰빰빰빰빰.
And I was completely losing my mind because of the snare part.
아니 너네들도 그걸 졸았어 오늘.
아니야.
그냥 완전
정국이는
쓰면서
나 잠깐만 나갔다 오겠다고 밖에서 자다가 목이 계속 끼고.
아니 목이 좀 많았어.
으쌰.
근데 저도
Jungkook was taking a break outside,
잠깐만 나갔다 오겠다고 밖에서 자다가 목이
and he'll be sleeping outside.
계속 끼고.
모기?
목이 좀 많았어.
으쌰.
모기 좀 많았어? I'm not sure if it's talking about mosquitoes or his neck.
저도 이거 기억나는 게 제가 애니멀이랑 뭐 이렇게 해가지고 몇 개 녹음을 하고 있었어요. 근데 다른 친구들이 이거 테스트 녹음을 하고 있었는데
I think he was talking about like throat issues. He had a lot of like throat trouble. Jin says, what I remember is I was recording a few things on Animal or whatever, and
제가 세 개를 끝내는 동안 그 두 명이서 계속 뚜뚜뚜뚜 계속 이러고 있는 거예요. 몇 시간 동안.
while I finished 3 recordings, those 2 were just doing do for hours.
수학이 고장 난 거 아니야?
그래서 피도 평소에
Was it a broken phone?
했었잖아요. 왜냐면 우리를 한번
수학을 못 한다고.
아 남준아 이거
And P-Dog Hyung was against it too. He wanted to hear us try it first,
애들 수학 못할 것 같대.
한국 와서도 이거를 계속 작업을 했어요.
and P-Dog apparently said to Namjoon, "Hey Namjoon, these guys won't be able to pull this off." And even back in Korea, we kept working on it.
한숨을 계속 쉬었어요. 우리 부르는데 저희가
And P-Dog kept sighing while we were recording.
쭉 서서 한 명씩 돌아가면서 불렀어요. 이제 부르는데
We stood in a line, each taking turns singing, and after each turn, P-Dog was like that, sighing.
아니야. 우리가 키 변경을 진짜 많이 했어.
이렇게 저렇게.
키 변경이 돼서
그랬나?
올린.
We changed the key so many times, like the pitch.
근데 내가 피독 형한테
올렸다
그
돌아왔다.
웬만하면 피독 형 말을 되게 나도 주의 깊게 듣잖아. 근데 형한테 이거는 무조건 형 어떻게든 만들어야 된다.
But I went to P-Dog Hyung. I usually listen very carefully to what P-Dog Hyung says. But I told him, this one, we have to make this work no matter what.
그렇게 얘기해.
나 일본에 있는데 지민이한테 통화가 오더라고.
나 형한테 전화 많이 했고 형한테도 많이 했고
When I was in Japan, Jimin called me.
근데 진짜 아니다.
근데 이거
So Jimin apparently called J-Hope and saying that I really don't think this is working.
있어요.
형 저는 이거 아닌 것 같은데 왜?
하지.
Can people even dance to? Can we even dance to this? I don't think this is right. But RM said, no, it is right. Trust me.
그래서 하지만 들어갔다.
너무
안 들어갔으면 큰일 날 뻔했죠?
저는 정말 죄송하고 감사합니다.
But it made it in. And RM goes, it would have been such a huge mistake not to include it, right? And the way Jimin stands up and bows and saying that I'm genuinely sorry and grateful. And it shows that even in the case where he was absolutely against the song, right now he's genuinely in love with the track. The way he says, I'm genuinely sorry about it and I'm so thankful.
다음 곡
진짜 안
들어볼까요?
들어 큰일 날 뻔했죠. 재밌는 곡이야.
큰일 날 뻔했죠. Now, what does it mean when they say that it would have been disaster without it? I think what it means is that this song will become even more incredible when we see it with performances. Probably, that's my guess. And I think that as they worked on choreography, they realized how fun this track is when it is being performed. That's my guess.
저희를 어떻게 보면 대표하는
In a way, the song really represents who we are.
좀 1분 몇 초인가요?
1분 37초입니다.
네, 좀 가만히 있죠.
이게 1분 37초로 한 이유가
Okay, the next track is number 29. And did anybody find it incredible that the army theory was correct once again? Number 29 is indeed the bell sound that lasts for exactly 1 minute 37 seconds. So extra brownie points for whoever came up with that theory. That is incredible. Armies are killing it for this combat.
그 이제 이 에밀레종이 정말 그 학계에선 되게 유명한 종이에요.
야, 종 전문가.
에밀레종이야 뭐야?
So the Emily Bell, Emily Jong, is a very famous bell in bell scholarship, and other guys are making fun of it. Are you a bell expert or something?
전혀 아닌데 그 이제 그
No, I'm not a scholar, but
이게 몇십 년 만에 쳤어요 얼마 전에.
한국 때 하신 적?
the bell was struck for the first time in decades recently.
네, 국립경주박물관에 있는데
It's at the National
이게
Museum of
엄청
Gyeongju.
무겁고 커서 이거를 막 칠 수가 없어서
And because it's so heavy and huge, you cannot just ring it.
그 치는 사람들을 아마 막 예약도 받고 막
So after
막
decades,
이게
they
유명한
rang
인물들
it.
선정해서 한 열 몇 분 정도가 친 걸로 알고 있는데
They took reservations, selected important figures. Apparently, about like 10 plus people got to strike it, and I
왔었어요.
got a message asking if I would come.
했냐고.
너 그럼 좋아하잖아.
하려고 했죠. 근데
And Suga was like, "You're into that kind of thing." RM says, "I wanted to go, but
저 연습하고 있으니까.
it was in Gyeongju and I was in the middle of practice, so I couldn't go."
아무튼 이제 이 에밀레종의 종소리를 막
Anyway.
스키처럼 옛날처럼 뭔가 막 이렇게 막
행복하지
행복하지 않냐?
이게 행복이지 않냐?
We took the Emily Bell sound rather than using it in doing some like old school dramatic skits that they used to do back in the day. Asking each other, "행복하지 않냐? Aren't you happy?
빌보드 갈 수 있을까? 뭐 이런 거 보안치.
Can we go to Billboard? Can this chart on Billboard?" That kind of thing.
보안치? 그렇죠. 오한치 이런 것보다는 그냥
Or 오완치 오늘 안무 취소. Today's choreography session cancelled.
이게 이렇게 한 거 1분 37초로 한 이유는 이게 이제 이거를 주파수로 봤을 때 주파수가 완전히 없어질 때까지. 그래서 1분 37초로.
근데 나는
And the reason why we use 1 minute and 37 seconds exactly is that when you look at the frequency of the bell, it plays until the frequency completely disappears, and making it exactly 1 minute and 37 seconds. Interesting.
이 트랙 그러니까 인트로들을 끝으로 이제 앨범 분위기가 바뀌는 게 그것도 우리가 이야기 많이 했죠.
그치 이거 이 리스트 순서로도 엄청 얘기.
But for me, after that interlude, the album's mood shifts completely, right? And that was something we discussed a lot too. And Jimin chimes in. Yes, we had so many conversations about the track listing order.
많이 했죠 저희끼리.
우리 앨범 풀로 들으려면 뭐 좀 이지한 곡들도 중간중간 들어가야 된다.
소프트하고
Like to listen through the full album, we need some easier songs sprinkled in the middle, like something soft.
좀
왜냐면
초반에 다 강한 곡들이
다
센 곡들.
그래서 끝까지 안
Because
들어주고
there are all intense songs listed in the beginning. And they were thinking that people might not
그런 사람들도 있어요.
make it to the end.
이런 얘기를 많이 했었죠.
지친다는 얘기를 했었지.
버전 1, 버전 2 같은 느낌.
That they were saying that it might get tiring, because of the order.
정규
못 들으면 아쉬운 거죠.
전반전 후반전이죠.
들어주시면 그래.
Kind of feels like part 1 and part 2. But RM says if you don't listen to it all, you're missing out. And that's correct. If you're not listening to it, you're missing out.
감사하죠.
CD 원투인가?
But either way, we're grateful that, they are listening at all, Jimin says.
한번 들어볼까요?
다음 곡부터는 이제 중요한 곡이 나오죠.
Next track is an important one.
이게 우리가 몰랐는데 우리가 생각보다 스포일러를 되게 많이 했더라고요.
So Taeyong says, we didn't realize we apparently spoiled it quite a bit without knowing. So next track is, of course, Swim, the title track of the album that has a music video.
요거에 대해서? 그래?
So about this track,
우리 뭐 단체 라이브에서서 누구 막 이렇게 하고 있던데.
like in one of our group lives, someone was doing the move like this, like the swimming motion.
아 그래?
이거는 뭐 그냥 할 수 있는 거 아니야?
That's something that we can naturally do. Who was it? Was it me?
우리 바다에 있었나? 또 나야?
또 나야? Was it me again? The Mr. Spoiler guy.
또 형이야?
또 형이야? Was it you again?
이게 뭐
오케이.
내용에 대해서 좀 한번 짚고 넘어가죠.
So let's talk about what the song is about.
노래가 사실 이게 좀 초반에 나온 노래인데 그 스근하고 좋고 뭐가 계속 걸려. 근데 이게 강렬하지가 않아요. 주의 깊게 들어보시면
So the song actually came together early. Something about it is both tender and good. It just 뭔가 계속 걸려. It just hooks you, but it's not intense.
어레인지먼트에 그 악기가 몇 개 없어요.
If you listen carefully, there aren't many instruments in the arrangement.
멜로디도 막 라라라라라 알라라 이게 아니라
The melody isn't dramatic.
그냥 swim 이런 노래잖아요.
So it's gentle like that, like swim.
근데 이제 이걸 타이틀로 하기까지 정말 걱정이 많았는데 저도 이게 타이틀일 수밖에 없었던 이유는
And getting to the point where this became the title was a long journey with so many twists.
그 일단 많은 사람들한테 닿을 수 있는 노래라는 생각이 들었고
And the reason I felt it had to be the title track, first I felt it was a song anyone could relate to.
그것도 그렇고 우리 준비해서 앨범 진짜 많이 들었지만 제일 안 들려.
And Suga says, not just that, I listened to the whole, pre-release album so much, but this one never gets old.
맞아요.
이것도
제일 안 들려.
얘기하는데
That's true.
이거를 타이틀로 하자고 했을 때 또 반대했던 게 저는
And Jimin said, I opposed, someone who opposed making this title too, that was me again.
너는 반대를 위한 반대만.
아니야. 그게 아니야.
And Suga says, maybe you were just opposing things for the sake of it, like being devil's advocate?
아니라
No, it wasn't that.
이제 원래 그동안에 저희가 있기 때문에
막 뭐라고 해야 될까요? 아이돌.
네, 아이돌.
It's because of what we have done before. Like, how do we put it? Like Idol,
뭐가
기승전결 확실한.
다이너마이트.
like Dynamite, ones with a very clear dramatic arc.
뭔가
On.
안무를 굵직하게 보여줄 수 있는 그런 걸 해왔기 때문에
We've been known for that big, bold choreography.
방탄소년단 오랜만에 컴백했는데 이러면은
So BTS coming back after this long and releasing something like this, Swim.
심지어.
And Suga says that that's too much the way he distorted the sound. Swim.
비하해 우리 노래를.
Behind, so RM is complaining. Jimin always makes fun of our own songs.
그러면 안 되지 않을까 했는데 이제 중간에 형이 가사를 쓰셨잖아요. 쓰시고
So that was what I thought, Jimin says. But when Namjoon wrote the lyrics,
우리 팀의 가장 지금 할 수 있는 가장 맞는 노래라고 저도 공감을 하게 되고
I came to understand and fully agree that this was the most right song our team could
동의를 하게 됐던 것 같아요.
put forward right now. And I completely agreed.
그냥 하루하루 정말 헤엄쳐 나가는
반대를 계속했던 것
그러니까
같아요.
이제 요 앨범
반대를 계속했던 것 같아요. I think I kept disagreeing. And RM explains, just swimming through each day, really.
준비하고 뭐 심지어 군대에서 사실 그랬고 그냥 하루하루 줄어드는 그 디데이를 보고 있잖아요. 그냥
Preparing this album, and honestly in the military too, just watching the countdown clock tick down day by day.
이렇게 하루하루 헤엄쳐 가는 게 그냥 그게 인생인
나아가고
Just swimming through each day like that isn't that just life?
그래서 그냥 뭐 이거를 뭐 엄청 잘 무슨 수영 선수처럼 우리가 헤엄칠 필요도 없고 그냥 하루하루 헤엄쳐 나가면 심지어 저는 수영을 못 하잖아요.
So you don't have to swim like a professional athlete, just swimming through each day. And I cannot even swim, so just keep swimming each day.
네, 지금 또 헤엄쳐 나가야 되는데 하다가 좀 세게 치긴 해.
이거는 진짜 죄송한데 이거는
J-Hope makes fun of him, even when with waves crashing. And right now, we still have to swim through, but the waves that hit you are pretty hard right now, referring to the injury that he got.
이거 삼각 파도인 것 같아.
RM says, I'm genuinely sorry about this one.
파도가 좀
삼각파도인 것 같아요. I think the waves that hit me is like a rogue wave.
많이 셌어요 방금은. 이제 이걸 어떻게 헤엄쳐 나갈까 이제
The waves are really strong this time. Just now, swimming through this is just a challenge.
네네.
또 나아가 보는 거죠.
그러니까 뭔가 또
We have to keep moving forward.
지금 상황과도 어울리는 거 너무 안
스윙 뮤직비디오 보시면 멤버들
J-Hope says, exactly, it really resonates with where we are right now so deeply. Because losing a member due to injury from the choreography is a huge challenge because they have to think about how to reformat it. You know what I'm saying? And they only have like one day before the comeback show.
들이 이제 저의 배기 때문에
아 솔직히 머리 아프긴 했어요.
파도를
저 공연 어떻게 해야 머리가
See, and Arm says in the music video, the members, 저의 배기 때문에 they are my ship. And Jimin honestly admits, honestly, it's such a headache. Genuinely getting a pounding headache, trying to figure out how to stage this
지끈지끈거립니다. 진짜.
아유 킵 스위밍 해야지 뭐 어떡해. 너무 저는 좋은 곡이 나오고.
And Suga says that keep swimming 해야지 뭐 어떡해. We have to just keep swimming.
BTS한테 너무 좋은.
What else can you do?
30대 BTS의 새로운 또 느낌?
뭔가 저는
And I genuinely think a great song came out of this. Such a perfect song for BTS right now. A new feeling for BTS in their 30s.
스윙 가사가 남순영이 이렇게 전체적으로 이렇게 되게 열심히 쓰잖아요. 근데 뭔가 진짜 가사가 너무 좋은 것 같아요.
Nam Jun-hyung really worked so hard on the swim lyrics overall. And I genuinely think the lyrics are just so beautiful, Taeyong says.
근데 이게 또 재밌는 게 사랑 노래로 들으면 사랑 노래로 들려요.
맞아.
뭐 아리랑 같은 거지 뭐.
What's fun is that if you listen to it as a love song, it sounds like a love song. Just like ARIRANG.
뭐 그렇게 얘기할 수도 있겠지만
That was a suggestion, just like ARIRANG from Suga. And RM says, well, you could say that, but
어쨌든 그
Waterfall in our
your
skin.
당신의 피부에서 떨어지는 물 이런 거잖아요. 그래서
so it's about water falling from your skin, that kind of imagery.
다양하게 해석될 수
위트 있게 너무 잘 나온 것 같아.
So it can be interpreted in so many ways. And it came out with such wit, J-Hope says so well.
있어요.
한 곳에만 뭔가 국한되지 않는 그런 다양한.
그러니까 어떤 상황에서 듣냐에 따라서
It's beautiful precisely because it's not confined to
그치.
좀 되게 다르게
one interpretation.
그래서 타이틀이 된 것 같습니다.
네네네.
Depending on the situation you're listening in, it hits quite differently. You can project your emotions onto it. And that's why it became the title, I think.
너무 좋아요.
Beautiful.
얘기를 좀 하나요? 아니면
뮤직비디오요.
쭉 다 하고 이제
Are we gonna talk about the music video? RM asked.
이따 시간 있으면
그러자.
So let's do the MV after going through everything, if there's time.
다음 곡
Next song.
메리고라운드.
Oh, Merry Go Round. I love this track.
에리고는 제가 이제
너 한 거 아니야 이거?
제가 뭐
Didn't you work on this song?
보다는 그 테이민 팔라를
폴라에서
케빈이
제가 좋아하는데 케빈 파커를 되게
Rather than saying I was heavily involved, I love Kevin Parker. Yeah. So RM says I love Kevin Parker.
좋아하는데 그 같이 와서 계속 작업하는 친구 중에 샘 아마 이름이 샘이었을 것 같은데
이게 형이 만든 제일 첫.
Among the people who came in and kept working on with us, there was Sam. I think his name was Sam. Okay, right here, Sam.
거 아니에요?
초안에 나왔었어요.
그러니까 제일 처음이었을 거예요.
Isn't this the very first song you made, Hyung? Jimin asked. It came out early.
케빈 파커랑 친하다. 그래서 케빈 파커랑 같이 작업을 많이 하는데
Sam said he's close with Kevin Parker and works with him a lot.
케빈 파커 트랙들을 많이 가지고 있더라고요.
And he
듣다가
brought a lot of Kevin Parker tracks. And going through them,
이 트랙이 듣자마자
This track.
너무 좋은데?
the moment I heard it, it was incredible.
근데 그때 이제 정국이가 훌리건 생각한 것처럼 그냥 회전목마가 생각나서 그 동안에 그냥 맨날 빙글빙글 도는 것 같은 약간 뭐
And just like Jungkook thought of hooligans, I just thought of a merry-go-round, feeling like you're just going around and around endlessly.
B 같은 스튜디오 아니었어? 너 B에서 한 거 아니었나 이거?
맞아요 B에서 그래서 이제 이거를 알데한테
Wasn't this in the B studio that where he worked on this?
알데한테 나 잠깐 뭐 어디서
스튜디오 B.
가사 작업 좀 하고 있을 테니까 메리고라운드로 한번 뭔가 아이디에이션을 해줄 수 있어 하는데 40분 뒤에 알데가 저를 불러서 지금 보컬을 그대로 불렀어요. 가사 토시 하나 안 틀리고.
So I took it to Alde. Like I'm going to be elsewhere working on lyrics for a bit. Can you do some ideation on merry-go-round? And Alde? Anyways, so the producer, 40 minutes later, they called me and sang the vocal melody exactly as you hear it in the track. Oh, okay, here we go. Alde Hain. Alde Hain. Okay. Interesting.
그래서 벌써 됐는데 노래가 이제 이랬던 곡입니다.
So I was like, oh, it's already done. That's how the song was born.
알데 잘해.
뭔가
알데가 진짜 잘 썼어요.
제
All they wrote it
이름이
beautifully.
있었으면 좋겠고 너무 좋은 노래인 것 같습니다.
Jimin goes, I hope it becomes a second Spring Day. It's such a beautiful song.
어떻게 보면 너무 좋아. 너무 잘 나온 곡이라.
감사합니다.
Came out beautifully.
진짜 나 그 알데
Going round and round.
진짜
나 데모가 기억이 안 나.
I genuinely tried to match the all day demo. Taeyong says, in terms of like the tone or the way the demo was recorded, probably. Meanwhile, J-Hope says that I don't remember the demos.
데모를 한번 나중에 한번 찾아 들어가야겠다.
나는 우리 멤버들의
I should find the demo and listen to it later.
목소리가 들어간 걸로 들었어 나.
Jin says, I heard it with the members' voices already.
근데 알데가 노래를
멤버들 목소리가 또 워낙 좋으니까.
알데 정말 잘하더라고.
네.
All they sing so well, but our members' voices are so great. But all they really delivered.
알데 진짜 잘해.
내가 그 지금 들어가 있지는 않은데 내가 처음 내가 트랙 딱 들어오고 와서 그 처음 딱 작업했던 게 알데랑 그 알지 않게 누구야? 아무튼 뭐
쌤?
근데 딱 듣자마자 이게 뭘까 할 정도로 진짜 잘하긴 하더라.
So there's a track that is not on the album, but while I was working on it first, when I arrived, I was with Alde and someone else. And the moment I heard Alde's work, I was like, what is this? What is this guy? It's incredibly good.
진짜 외국 프로듀서분들이 진짜 너무 신기할 정도로
다 너무
어떻게 이 라인을 쓰지? 뭐 어떻게
많이
이런 트랙을
배웠어.
가지고 왔지? 약간 이런 게 많았어.
호흡이 달라.
And honestly, foreign producers, it was fascinating so many times over. Like, how are they writing these lines? How did they come up with this
살아야 돼.
track?
그래서 뭔가 이게
근데 또 우리
But to do that, Jimin says, you have to really live as a lifestyle.
우리는 한국에 살면서 또 우리만 할 수 있는 또 뭔가
그런 것도 있고
그런 게 자연스럽게
But we have our own thing from living in Korea, something only we can do. And J-Hope immediately agrees. Yes, that's also true.
생각보다 약간 늘 했던 그런 약간 생각보다 자주 나오는 그 멜로디 라인들이 있잖아요.
코세가 있지 코세가.
각자
But then there are also those melodic patterns that come up more often than expected, Taeyong says.
마다 멜로디 라인들이나 뭐 지브리시나 그런 것들이 그치. 근데 미국 가서
So, for example, everyone has their signature habits, like melody lines or gibberish, meaning like ad-libs. So when they, when you record for some artists, when they come up with melodies or lyrics, they first play the beat in a loop over and over again, and they go stuff like, come up with the flows and melodies. I think that's what he means by gibberish here.
생각보다 다들 엄청 많이 바꿔서 오지 않았어요?
좀 다양히
모드를 바꿨지.
그냥 그 지버리 씨랑 그 라인이
And didn't you guys change your styles after spending time during the song camp?
좀 몇 개 늘어났지.
그러니까
And Arm says that I have more gibberish styles now in store.
패턴이 늘어났지.
The patterns.
같은 거.
It's like guitar licks.
나도 라인 자체
We learn from the sessions.
근데 똑같더라. 그러니까 뭔가 우리가 작업을 하는 그런 과정들을 보면은 사실 마이크 앞에서 이제 틀어놓고 막 이렇게 하잖아. 근데 예전에
So yeah, in front of microphones, we play the tracks and we do stuff in front of microphones.
똑같이 이렇게 하더라고.
And foreign artists do the exact same thing, just like that. And these guys do in a similar style.
난그 찰스랑 곡을 많이 만들었잖아요.
프린스 찰스.
네. 찰스랑
I worked on so many songs with Charles.
가나다 카파 이런 거 하는 거.
아 맞아. 약간 무술 느낌.
So Charles has that style in terms of the gibberish that he did in front of a microphone at a studio.
그거 이제 막판쯤 가니까 이제 자기들도 다 떨어져.
맞아.
우리가 다 똑같아. 우리가
공간이 돼.
But by the end of the song camp, we all ran out of ideas.
비슷하더라고.
그 멤버들도 근데 좀 있어.
우리
같은 거.
다 있어 맞아.
But for us too, there are certain patterns that we do.
이렇게 똥똥을 이렇게 좋아해.
엉엉을 되게 좋아해. 내가 엉엉을.
So I guess for J-Hope, when he does comes up with melodies and flows, he does use he loves using the sounds of ong ong or dong tong.
있었죠. 고쳐 나갔던 거.
콩콩.
아 이 노래.
내 favorite.
라이언.
Next track is apparently J-Hope's favorite, Normal, produced by Ryan Tedder and Sean Cook.
카더.
좋았어.
이게 제가 그 LA 도착하고 나서 이건 무조건 확정이야 하고 제일 먼저 들려줬던 곡이었어요.
완전
When I arrived in LA, this was the first song that you guys played for me and said that this is absolutely locked in.
진짜
내 노멀은
좋았어요.
너무 좋은 노래.
이건 정말 그냥 다 같이 그냥
Such a good song. It's one of those, everyone together sings it.
영어곡들은 다 참 미국 친구들이 참 좋아할 것 같다는 곡들인 것 같아요.
근데 이게
She guys says all the fully English songs are the kind of tracks that I feel American listeners will really love. This track is the one where it goes something like chemical, something like that, right? Yeah, quite like it. Kerosene, dopamine, chemical induced. That part. Yeah.
참 원래 노멀이라는 키워드가 데모에 있어서 나는 이 키워드를 지키고 싶은 거야. 근데 이제 노멀이 원래 이제 그런 내용은 아니었고 원래 있던 가사는 약간 그 어떤 이제 자기가 사랑하는 연인에 대한 막 그런 약간 뭐 집착적인 뭐 그런 사랑 같은 거게 노멀이 아니다. 약간 이런 내용이었던 것 같아.
So the word normal was always the core of the demo, and I wanted to preserve that keyword. But the original track wasn't like this, original content. The original lyrics were more about an obsessive love for a partner, the idea that this kind of love isn't normal.
근데 그게 이제 우리한테 적용되기는 좀 어려우니까.
But that didn't really quite apply to us.
이 가사 내용을 어떻게 하냐로 우리끼리도 얘기 진짜 많이 했어요.
난 많이
So we had so many conversations among ourselves about what direction to take the lyrics.
네.
뭐가
우리의
정상인 거.
노멀은 또 무엇이며 사람들의 노멀은 무엇일까 이런 얘기를 많이 했어요.
So we asked each other, what is normal? Anyway, what is normal for us and what does normal even mean for other people?
뭐 그런.
근데 이번 저는 가사가 진짜 엄청 깊이감이 너무 남다르다 생각해요.
So, Taeyong, honestly, I think the depth of the lyrics on this album is just on another level.
도와주셨습니다. 감사합니다. 네.
A lot of people helped out.
들어갈까요?
예.
Shall we move on to the next song?
이런 거 해야 된다고.
Favorite.
나 이거 안 들어가면 내가 저걸로 했다.
형의 페이보릿이야?
네, favorite 중 하나.
아 그래요?
사이키델릭.
This one is RM's favorite. Psychedelic. They don't know about us. No, sorry. Like animals.
각자 페이버릿이 진짜 다르다.
이게 디플로
We all have different favorite tracks.
건가?
디플로랑 아르테마스.
Produced by Diplo and Artemas.
I like the way you kiss me, kiss when you're in a room. 이걸로 틱톡에서 엄청 잘 된 아티스트인데.
Artemis was the one who blew up in TikTok with that I like the way you kiss me track.
이게 약간 저희가 안 했던 스타일이죠 사실.
And this is a style we generally haven't done before.
약간 그 락밴드가 좀 생각이 나면서 뭐그
밴드죠.
예.
그래서
It brings to mind something like a rock band.
어쨌든 A&R이랑 어쨌든 뭐 방패인도 그렇고 약간 좀 빠질 뻔했던 곡이긴 하거든.
According to Suga, this track did almost get cut between A&R concerns and even Bang Seok PD's opinion.
이게 깊이감을 더해줬다고 생각?
앨범
But for me, this adds depth.
결이랑 안 맞다고 해서 얘만 이제 좀 팬들 사운드 쓰니까 근데 우리가 무조건 넣어야 된다 해가지고 들어온
But they said that it didn't fit the album's texture because the band sound is pretty noticeable. But we were saying that we must include this.
너무 좋아, 너무 좋은 곡이고.
Such a good song. I loved it from the demo.
내가 왔을 때는 이미 만들어져 있는 곡이었어.
When I arrived, it was already completed, J-Hope says.
그렇지.
Like animal.
이제 후반으로 가고 있는데요.
We're getting toward the back half now, second half.
진짜 이번에 14개 트랙으로 정말 꽉 채웠네요, 진짜.
So we are on track 10 now, and J-Hope just realized we indeed really packed this album tight with 14 tracks.
10%만 뽑았죠. 완전
그러니까
We extracted the top 10% of everything we made.
를 뽑아낸 거야. 것도 많고.
The essence, exactly. And a lot got cut.
한번 가보시죠.
재미. 다 하나씩 쳤네 진짜.
같은 방에 있었거든.
다행이죠 뭐 진짜 뭐.
같은 방에 원래 우리가 이 트랙 말고 하나 나오고.
방 하나씩 쳤네 진짜로. I think what they're saying is that the studio room that they worked at came up with the tracks that eventually were included in the album. And this track they were talking about is They Don't Know About Us.
있잖아.
그치.
그거는
그거 안 돼가지고.
네가 하겠다고 네가 가져왔고 그거는.
그럼 소개 좀 해주시죠. 어떤 노래죠?
So originally we had a different track, Suga says. We were working on another one too. But that one wasn't working, so we decided to include this one.
이 노래요? They Don't Know About Us.
사실 우리 둘 다 이게 들어갈까
Jimin says this song is They Don't Know About Us.
난 생각 안 하면서 했어 그냥.
사실
뭐라도 하나 하자 이러면서.
사실 이 노래는
Neither of us was thinking this would make it in when we were making it. So we just, that's what Suga says. Produced by P-Dog, Ghost Loop, Y2K, and writers Jimin, RM, Suga, and J-Hope.
전날에 남준형이랑 대화를 많이 하다가
아 그때 많이 했지.
예, 그래서 원래는 You Make Me Weak에서 출발한
You
거예요.
make me weak.
예.
Actually, this song came after a long conversation with Nam Jun-hyung the day before. So it originally came from that "you make me weak" kind of concept.
신들을 나를 약하게 만드는.
사실 팬 여러분들을 생각하면서 처음에 키워드를 얻었었고 그러다가
We started with the fans in mind as the keyword, and
안
then
나왔죠 처음.
예, You Make Me Weak이 잘 안 나와서 이제
that direction wasn't coming together at first, with "You Make Me Weak."
원래는 이제 팬분들이 우리를 잘 모른다. 우리 너무 아직도 찌질하고 약하고 여기에서 출발했다가
It wasn't flowing. Originally, it was like our fans don't really know us. We're still such a mess, still weak. So starting from that point,
이런 멋있는 곡으로 재탄생하게 되었던 것 같습니다.
저는 이 샘플링
it somehow transformed into this beautiful song.
계열의 이런 곡들을 되게 또 개인적으로 좋아해서 너무 잘 나온 것 같다.
상대방이
Personally, I love this style of sampling-based music, and I think it came out beautifully.
샘플 위주로 좀 많이 하긴
이게 이번 앨범
Again, he's referring to Pang, that room. So the studio room. That room did a lot of sample-heavy work.
유일한
And of course, we will get to know about what they mean by these terms like Pang rooms once we watch the Netflix documentary.
샘곡 아니에요?
맞아. 아 그건 모르겠네. 확실히
아니 좀 많지 샘플이.
샘플은 많이.
Taeyong asks, wait, isn't this the only full sampling track on the album? That might not be right. Samples are used in various songs though.
들어갔을 것 같아.
아니 초반에 그 약간 메인으로 들어간 거.
아예 샘플만 딱 들어가.
그러니까 이렇게 뚝 끊어서 하는 거는.
But the one where a sample is used as a main element
그럴 거.
early on.
아니
원래 이거 사실 이것도 다른 건데
너랑
바꾼 거고.
아 맞아.
또 해야 되겠다. 진짜.
This was also originally something else, but then ended up being included.
참 진짜 이
그건
아니에요.
그치, 샘플도 다른 거였고.
각자가 참 되게 다양하게 곡 작업을 해서
네.
Yeah, each of the members worked on different songs.
앨범에 수록이 된 거.
근데 그렇긴 하네요.
And
이제
all
진짜
included.
참여해서 앨범에 들어간
그러니까 각자
노래들이
색깔이 다 들어갔어.
스타일이
진영도
너무 다르고.
진영도 사실 조금만 투어 빨리 끝났으면.
I think here they're saying that everyone's colors went into this album, but Jin Hyung, if only his tour had ended just a little earlier,
그러니까
더 많이
근데
지났을
조금 하고
he would be able to be more involved.
아쉽긴 해.
할 수 있는 시간이 있었는데 형이 컨디션이 좀 안 좋았어.
맞아.
Taeyong explains a bit more. So he did get to do a little, but there was time he could have contributed, but his condition wasn't great
투어를 계속 돌아서
맞아.
형의 컨디션이 안 좋아.
그리고 우리보다 먼저 또 어디 갔잖아.
맞아.
because he had been on the road because of his world tour.
형이 고생을 많이 했죠.
And Jungkook also pointed out he got discharged. He went to the military first and got discharged before us. So he worked so hard.
나 아쉬웠지.
아 근데 덕분에 또
It's a shame.
저희가
팀을 지켜주셨으니까
맞습니다.
또 앨범이
But
나왔고.
thanks to him holding the momentum, this album came out.
다음 곡 들어볼까요?
멋있는 곡 많이 나와서 좋아요.
Jin said that I'm just so glad that we have all these beautiful songs released, made.
난 이 노래 좋아.
그러니까 이거는 허밍이 아닌데.
저는 되게 불호를 했던 곡이죠.
이거 뭐냐?
This particular track is the one that RM loves, but J-Hope was totally against. Even saying, what is even this song about?
Bro.
야, bro.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
What's up, man?
Hey,
너무
bro.
bro.
Bro. So 불호 literally means not liking, not loving. But here they're making a like a wordplay, making it sound like bro, you know.
아니 근데 나도 이게 이 곡에 대한 뭔가 막 그런 건 없었는데
약간 유치할 수 있는데 듣기 너무 좋아.
Jungkook says, even for me, I didn't have this overwhelming wow reaction to it at first. Well, RM says that it might sound a bit straightforward, but it's just so enjoyable to listen to.
듣다 보니까 좋더라고 멤버들 이
근데
곡이.
사실 이런 노래
And Jungkook agrees. As I kept listening, I started to love it.
드라이브하게
그렇지.
너무 좋은 노래.
바로 그거야.
Jimin points out, this type of song is really good for drives. And RM goes, 그렇지. 바로 그거야. Exactly. That's right.
이 곡이 약간 되게 이지해요. 그나마 우리 옛날 색깔이 좀 묻어있는.
우리 노래 홈 같은.
Jungkook says, I think this song is the one that has the most traces of our old BTS color. And Taehyung says, like the track Home.
근데 지금 날씨도 이제 좋아지고
옛날 BTS 음악 느낌도 나고 해가지고
맞아. 드라이브 할 때 딱 좋은 것 같고.
요게
So the weather is getting nice too, and it has that old BTS feeling, perfect for a drive.
앨범을 조금 더 이지하게 만들어.
맞아.
말랑하지.
오히려 조금 더 무겁긴 해서 앨범이
And it makes the album a bit more accessible, a little softer, because the album overall runs a bit heavy.
처음에 듣고 야 이거 들어가야 되냐?
아니 그거 마지막
J-Hope, when he first listened to this track, I was like, who came up with this track?
아니 우리 후한 작업하는 동안 또 들어가야 돼.
아 모르겠다 이거.
그러기엔 너무 애절하게 불렀어.
그러니까. 또 작업을 하면 또 하지 또.
So J-Hope was against the idea, even while they were recording. But he worked so hard on recording his vocals. And it's like when I do it, I do it fully.
그러면 이 곡 설명은 이렇게 그냥 끝나는 건가요?
아유.
혜업 씨가 불호였다.
And is this all the description that we are providing for this track? Just the fact that it's the one song that J-Hope didn't like?
이거 please go.
아, 맞아, please go.
이거 please go. 뭐 여튼 재밌.
형도 모르네.
Even RM doesn't know about this track much.
이게 그게 없어서 그런 것 같아. 테마가 이렇게 뭔가 이 곡을 딱 들었을 때 뭔가 이런 게 없이 그냥 잘 흘러가는 거.
I think this might be because the song doesn't really have a specific theme. Any episodes about this song?
제가 불호였다.
Simply, the episode is, being the fact that J-Hope didn't like it.
이거는 아마 가사만.
나 저거 있다 이거.
Who worked on the song?
피독 형하고
P-Dog.
그러니까 우리 반이야.
미국에서 세션 때 나온 곡인데.
It was in our studio room.
랩 작업할 때
맞아.
I was working on that rap.
커티스였나 키 큰 친구?
네.
그 친구한테 연락을 받아서 내가 가성으로 랩을 하겠다. 들어가서 좀 가성으로 막 랩하고 그랬어.
Wait, did he say Cortis or Curtis?
피독 형하고 그 하지 않아요?
그러니까 우리 반이야.
미국에서 세션 때 나온 곡인데.
네네네.
우리 반에서 나 저 랩 작업할 때
맞아.
내가 근데 걔 있잖아 커티스였나 키 큰 친구?
네.
그 친구한테 연락을
Is he talking about Martin or Cortis?
받아서 내가
Or is there a different artist named Curtis here? Anyway, he apparently got inspired, a tall guy, and Martin is really tall, and he was like,
가성으로 랩을 하겠다.
I should be rapping using falsetto.
들어가서 좀 가성으로 막 랩하고 그랬어.
And I was doing that.
형 이런 거
Falsetto
보면
rap.
바로 뭐예요 랩 안 하고.
And Jimin was like, hey, Hyung, what are you even doing? Why aren't you rapping?
노래하지 마요.
야 윤경 이번 세션에
Stop singing like that.
와형 기타가 아주 그냥.
사람 멈불밖에 멈불.
내가 또 형 옆방이었잖아.
For that session, Suga went crazy with his guitar and mumble rap.
딸이 8시간을 쳐요.
He played guitar for 8 hours straight.
잠을 잘 수가 없어.
I wasn't able to sleep.
숙소에서
아 허리 아파.
형이 무슨 새벽 2시까지 그 에반게리온 OST만.
아 맞아 나도 들렸어.
So during our session at the accommodation, Hyung was up late at night and playing the OST for Evangelion OST with his guitar.
그때 그거를 따가지고.
Evangelion. So he was playing the official soundtrack.
따가지고 그날의 곡
그래서 이거만 치는 거야.
So he was picking it out on guitar, note by note, and that day's song was that. And he was just playing that one
하루에
thing.
하나씩 따던 거야.
그래서 세션 다음날 갔는데 그것밖에 생각이 안 나.
And guitar, Suga, practiced one song each day, like picking out on guitar, note by note. But Arm says that because of that, I went the next day to a studio, and that's literally all I could think of.
재밌네.
재밌었어요.
자, 두 곡 남았죠?
볼까요?
Two more tracks left, and the next track is Please. So beforehand, they were talking about One More Night, produced by Diplo, P-Dog, Nitty, and RM, Suga, J-Hope were involved. And indeed, they didn't really give us much description, other than the fact that J-Hope initially didn't like it.
좋아요.
난 이 노래가 좀 더 홈 같아.
So this one is Please. And RM says that this one feels even more like home to me.
나도 약간 그렇긴 하다. 예.
For me too, kind of, J-Hope says.
같은데 뭔가 좀 더 그 노래는 가벼운 것 같은데 좀 애절해서
맞아.
좋은 것 같아요.
뭔가
It does feel like home, but this one is a bit lighter and it's more tender and longing.
부드러운데 되게 말 그대로 애절하고 진심이 느껴지는 곡이죠.
So it's soft, but literally aching with sincerity.
뭔가 좀 제발
You can feel the,
아민
genuinely you can feel it.
분들께 저를 좋아해 주시는 사랑해 주시는 분들께 사실 같이.
맞아요.
So this too is really made for ARMY, for everyone who loves and supports us.
진짜
여러분들을 위한 노래입니다 정말.
그렇죠. 마지막
It's a song for
갈수록
the fans.
어쨌건 되게 부드러워지고 편해지는 경향이 있다 앨범이.
So toward the final tracks, the album definitely gets softer and more gentle.
네네네. 종치면 뭐.
되게
Since we rang the bell.
다시 듣고 막 이야기할 때 앞단을 좋아하는 사람들도 많고, 그냥 딱 반반인 것 같아. 뒷단을 좋아하는 사람도 있는 것 같고.
Even among people I've shared it with, about half prefer the first half and about half prefer the back half.
하게 듣고 싶으면은 뒷작인 것 같고.
힙합 좋아하고 이렇게 센 음악
센거 좋아하면은
If you want something easy to listen to, the back half is the one. But if you love hip hop and heavy music, the front half is where it's at.
뭐라고 하냐? 쭉쭉 들어주는 애들이 좀 손했겠는데, 약간 이런 이야기 할 정도로.
Jungkook has compared the whole album to like fine dining, kind of like I think what he meant by is that fine dining is where the chef serves you different dishes each time, right? So a combination of great dishes. I think that's what he meant. It's a whole package, of different colors and different genres.
좀 강렬한 곡들 좋아하고.
좀 기분에 따라 달라지기는 해.
맞습니다.
예, 그종전이
맞아요.
예.
So Suga said someone even said that the front half feels like something that could drop in September, and that's how intense it is. And J-Hope says it really varies by mood.
또 콘서트가 지나가면 또 분명히 또 곡에 대한 아마 여러분들의 생각이나 평가도 바뀔 거예요.
And I think once the concerts happen, people's thoughts and feelings about each song will definitely shift. And indeed, some songs are completed by performances and choreographies. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm really looking forward to their performances for tomorrow and like different videos that they must have already filmed.
맞아요.
I think our favorite songs have changed as we have prepared for the concert.
또 그게 그렇더라.
그럼 바뀌지.
And Jimin agrees.
도 바뀌는데 심지어.
맞아.
그렇지.
좋더라.
무대를 보고 달라지는 거.
무대 보면 이제 확실히
Here, they said, once people watch our stages, performances, their favorite tracks might change.
마지막 곡입니다. 마지막 곡 또 태영 씨의
Last track,
인터넷
and this one is by Taehyung.
한 칸이지.
귀신?
Taehyung cut through again. This one is called Into the Sun, and V really played a major role here.
소개 좀 해주시죠.
어떻게 뭐 타이틀에
아 이번 앨범에 마지막에 갑자기 들어가게 돼가지고
So give us an introduction, please. And Taeyong says it ended up going in at the very last spot on the album,
아우트로로
근데 이
너무 좋아.
노래가 또 웃긴 건
and it's a great outro song.
태양 노래예요.
But the funny thing is, Jimin says Taeyong himself was against this song.
아니, 너가 써놓고 왜 너가
아니 그러니까 저는
You wrote it. Why were you opposing it?
아니 저는 제가 쓴 거는 쓴 거고 이게 앨범이랑 맞냐에
이게
또
있어, 완전
거기서 냉정하게 봐야 되니까
Writing it and whether it fits the album are separate things. Separate things.
아니 너무 잘
So I have to look at it objectively.
그것 말고도 제가 좋은 곡들 그리고 형들이 쓴 곡들이 너무나 많았고 좋았기 때문에 저는
Because there were so many other great songs, you know, mine and others, that I just kept thinking, why specifically this one to finish the album? So there's a particular track that Taehyung had in mind and that he liked, that he thought maybe should end the track instead.
그러니까 저는 계속 이제 너무 좋은 곡들이 많다 왜 굳이 이 곡이 들어가야 되냐
그리고 센 사운드가 너무 많아서
So I just kept thinking, there are so many great songs, why does this one need to go in? Well, Arm says,
어차피 겹쳐가지고 다른 거랑
근데 저는
there were already so many powerful sounds, hardcore tracks, and other tracks were competing.
이렇게 멤버들이 이렇게 좋아질 거라고 생각
나 이 노래가 너무 아름다워.
Taeyong being humble, but I thought the members, I didn't think that the members would love it like this.
나온 게 결국 약간 막 노을 지는 태양으로
네.
뛰어가는 7명의 뒷모습 같은
엔딩에 되게 잘 어울리는 노래.
What makes the song so beautiful to me is like the backs of 7 people running toward the setting sun, RM says, and Jin agrees. It's a song that fits perfectly at the ending.
그러니까 애니메이션 같은 거 끝나면 올라갈 때 착 나오는 그런 노래 같은
근데 이거는
Yeah, like the song that plays over the credits as an anime is ending.
이 태영이가 작업할 때 옆에서 저는 계속 같이
그렇죠,
있었는데 너무 태영이가 잘 만든
너무
I was right there next to Taeyong when he was making it, right? And Taeyong was creating something so beautifully.
녹음 받을 때 있었거든. 내가 그 동영이 받고 있잖아. 저 너무 막 이 감정적으로 하니까
되게 많이 긁었었지 이 노래.
얘가 한 30분 하고 내가 갑자기
목이
Oh,
동영이 받고
태영이가 작업할 때 옆에서 저는 계속 같이
그렇죠.
I had to listen to what Suga said.
너무 태영이가 잘 만든
내가 한 칸 했어요.
It seems like these guys are liking the phrase 한 칼 했다, especially RM, to describe someone who has done something amazing. 한 칼 했다. So V really did it with this one. Really cut through with this one.
내가 그 동영이 받고 있잖아. 저 너무 막 이 감정적으로 하니까
So Taeyong was really emotional with the song.
긁었었지 이 노래.
얘가 한 30분 하고 내가 갑자기 목이 안 나오더라고.
갈려가지고
So after about 30 minutes, his voice just gave out. It wore out. Hey, I'm done. 끝났습니다.
뭐야 그거? 기자.
His voice was like that.
근데
Completely
이 노래는 이제 저랑 지민이랑 한 게 지민이가 이제 또 마지막에 그 브릿지 부분을 또 장식
But on this song, Jimin and I collaborated, and Jimin does the bridge at the end.
비하인드.
And there's an episode to that.
여기 이거 비하인드 있다. 너 녹음 들어가서 너
You went into the vocal booth and recorded with the SM7, right?
세븐을 녹음했네
뒤에서 여기다 뒤에 있었다. 그걸 부스에서
So Suga was
우리가 컴프를
in the studio,
만지는데
and they were working on the compression tool for the recording.
흘러가는 거야.
But for some reason,
그거 딴 마이크로 쏘면 있었던 거야.
맞아 우리
oh, so the input level wasn't going up even after working on the compression tool. Apparently, the mic in the back was routed through the wrong input.
알아냈잖아요.
1800G. 야 이거 1800G인데 근데 그때 다시 녹음을 하기에는
근데 파일이 다 날아갔다고 저한테는 설명해줘가지고
아니야 내가 녹음
어차피 한 개.
So the recording was going through the adjacent mic, not the SM7B microphone that he was using. So that was the episode that Suga was telling because he was there.
성공한 거 아니야?
네.
아,
맞아. 근데 똑같은 이제 보코드로 쓰긴 했죠.
그러니까 부스에 들어갔는데 팬이 잠깐만 이거 아닌데요? 이 마이크가 안 나오는데 그러니까 야 이거 봤는데
그러면은 내가 여기 마이크로 쓰고 있는데 여기 밑에
And eventually they recognized the error that they made, mistake they made. But then by then it was just too late to re-record.
여기가 1800도
옆에 걸로 돼 있던 거야?
그래서 그 데이터를 못 쓰는 거야. 컴퓨터가 너무 많이
그 피디님이
걸려있어서
큰일 났다고 욕을 엄청 했었어.
So producer was very frustrated and he cursed a lot.
그때 너무 세게 하긴 해가지고 수정 좀.
아 이번 앨범 또 독특한 게 아무튼 14곡이 전부 다 단체곡이에요.
So that was the episode. They lost the data and the producer like freaked out, swearing everywhere. But eventually, I guess they worked it out. And the song, this particular track, was really beautiful, Into the Sun. And I agree, it's a perfect song to end the album with. And J-Hope comments here. What's also unique about this album is
맞아요.
네, 나는 그것도 되게
사실 유닛이나
all 14 tracks are group songs.
솔로가 있을 거라고.
특별하다고 생각이 들고
No solo or unit tracks.
도 많은데
그만큼 우리가 오랜만에 컴백한 만큼 이 14곡을 다 우리들의 단체 목소리로 채웠으면 좋겠다라는
근데
게
밸런스 아주 좋은 것 같아.
Because the special, there are many where, solos, we have so many solo songs, but given that we are returning after such a long absence, wanting to fill all 14 tracks with our collective voices was the right call.
저희가 합의를 보고 시작했잖아요. 근데
And we agreed on that from the start, RM says.
7명이서 정규 앨범을 유닛 개인 없이 이렇게 단체로만 다 채울 수 있는 것도 진짜 저희도 진짜
And
약간
the fact that 7 of us can fill a full studio album with just group tracks,
결심 아니에요.
그렇죠.
that's actually a huge decision in itself, right? No solos, no units.
그 이제 뭐 래퍼들도 뭐 보컬적인 거를 좀 이번에 했고 또 보컬 친구들도 랩적인 걸 이렇게 많이 해가지고 밸런스가 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
And there were so many great songs. The rappers did more vocal things this time, and the vocal members did more rap style things, and the balance feels really good. Suga comments.
그러니까 이제 들어보시면 아시겠지만 저희가 이번 앨범을 이제 앨범에 수록되는 곡들을 집어넣을 때 7명이 다 동의하는 곡을 넣기가 참 쉽지 않았었어요.
As you will find when you listen, it was generally not easy to find songs that all 7 of us could agree on including.
어렵다니까.
이게 진짜
각자가 다 의견이 다르고 각자 취향도 다르고
소금이도 다르고
Everyone has different opinions, different tastes,
그거 치고는
그럼에도 불구하고 잘 마무리했다.
and yet, given all of that, we wrapped it up really well.
모두의 교집합을 찾는 건 정말 어려운 일이고요.
머리를
그래서 나는
Finding the intersection of everyone's preferences is truly difficult.
또들 했지 보컬들도 막 랩하고.
그래서 그걸 만들려고 이제 100곡이 넘는 곡들이 필요했던 거 아닌가.
So we kept trying many, many things. That's probably why we needed over 100 songs to produce this result.
박수 한번 치시죠? 이 14곡 잘
Let's give
만들었습니다.
ourselves a round of applause.
더 해야지. 한번 더 해야지. 우리 또 세션하자.
근데
가야지.
한 번 더 해야지. Jimin stands up and saying that we should do this again. We should all do this again. Let's go back. We should do more.
가지? 나 못 일어나.
Let's do another 2-month session.
하려 그러면 와 너무 힘들 것 같아.
나는 하고 싶어. 나는
RM says, I cannot get up right now, literally, because of the injury. So he's making that joke. But they were saying that trying to do it again, that will be too hard. But some saying that I want to do it. I think it was Jungkook who said it.
후반 작업할 때
모두의 교집.
박수 한번 치시죠? 이 14곡 잘 만들었습니다.
Was it Suga?
더 해야지.
한 번 더 해야지.
더 해야지.
We should do it again.
근데
가야지.
Oh, Jungkook is saying that we should do another 2-month session.
그냥 가지? 나 못 일어나.
다시 하려 그러면 와 너무 힘들 것 같아.
Suga is the one who said that it will be very difficult trying to do it all over again.
나는 하고 싶어.
Yep, Jungkook said that. Jungkook and Jimin said that I'm in, we're in, I'm willing.
근데 재밌게 했어.
해야지.
난다 같이 또 하고 싶어.
But it was fun indeed, and I want to do it all together again, Jimin says.
할때 진짜 좀 고생 많이 해가지고.
하여튼 우리 아미 여러분들이랑 우리
But for Suga, the post-production work was especially hard. So
다 같이 음악도 들어봤으니까 말이 안 나오네요. 네. 우리 한번 타이틀 뮤비 안 보고 갈 수가 없잖아요.
now that we've all listened to the music together with ARMY, let's talk about the music video.
뮤비를 한번
나 지금 처음
보시죠.
나도 그 뭐야. 나 아까 헤매 봤.
It's the first time for Taehyung to watch this video.
잠만 봤고.
뮤비 주세요. 자, 이 나신반이 고장 났습니다.
아 색감 다 보정된 거구나.
So I covered this due to copyright issue.
과정
컷편집.
Now Jimin watched this music video while he was getting the hair makeup and stuff. Jungkook watched this before the final version was out.
바뀌었나?
So in the beginning, compass has broken and all the colors are color graded now.
시네마틱한 뮤비예요, 그렇죠?
좀 영화
And the cuts are very cinematic music video.
를 해보고 싶었었는데
And they wanted something film-like for this one.
릴리가
얼굴에 이미 서사가 있어가지고
너무
And Lily has a face that already carries a whole story.
아름답게
손도 잘
나와가지고.
추시더라고.
She dances beautifully too.
대멀미 했다 안 했다.
Anybody got seasick?
괜찮았다.
RM got seasick, definitely.
물색가 CG로 바꿨네. 아 당황했잖아.
원래
리스본 갔다가.
알백이었던 거 아시죠?
So apparently the weather wasn't that great. So they did editing, CG and stuff.
아니 뭐 좀 에피소드 이야기하자면 진짜 비가
비도 엄청
왔다 갔다 했죠, 왔다 갔다.
The rain came and went a lot.
그 CG가 아니죠?
그렇죠. 비 원래 더 많아요.
The rain itself was not CG at all. In fact, it was heavier than what is shown in the video.
덜 맞은 걸 쓴 거예요, 사실.
J-Hope was even more soaked, and they used a drier version actually.
근데 그래서 멋있게 나온 거야.
But that's what made it look so good.
홀딱 젖어 있는 거야.
그래도 다행인 게너 파트가
J-Hope just shows up completely drenched.
약간 폭발하는 파트잖아.
그러니까 마지막에.
우리가 태풍 직전에 가가지고.
맞아.
그러니까.
아 그때 이미
And it's fitting because his part is the explosive part, and they went right before a typhoon.
제외하고 나머지는 태풍이 있었고
나 태풍 피해가 또 있었대.
In fact, at that point, everywhere except Lisbon had a typhoon.
씬마다 각자의 그런 뭔가 역할이 있는 것 같아요, 그치?
있어요.
네.
그래서 이제
So each member had a particular role for each scene. Yoongi.
야, 우리 윤기 형 회춘했어.
아 윤경
So in the music video, Yoongi's hair was pretty long, but now it has short hair.
한 5배
That's why they are saying that Yoongi got so younger. Looks 5 years younger.
젊어진 척.
그러게. 머리 길다가 갑자기 잘랐어.
몇 살인거야? 6살인가?
마음의 변화가
Oh, no, in fact, 5 times younger. And Suga is joking. Okay, then how old am I right now? Like 6?
아니 나는 잘라고 했었는데.
잘 어울려.
And they were asking, did you have a change of heart? What got you cut your hair? And Suga said, I was actually going to cut mine.
잘 어울려.
저는 한 대에 타고 가는 이제 우리들.
그렇죠.
이 뮤비 트리트먼트에 관해서도 진짜 감동을박과
So the 7 of us on the same ship. And the music video treatment itself, there was so much debate.
맞아.
많았죠 여기서도. 근데 이게
There was a lot.
좀 많이 이야기했지.
Yeah, we talked about,
너무 많아서 이게 정리가 안 되길래
there were so many opinions
저도
and it wasn't coming together.
내다가 빠졌어요.
So while I was contributing in the beginning, I stepped back, Jin said,
너무 이 의견이 많이 섞이면 안 될 것 같아서.
because there were too many mixed opinions and that would spoil it.
잘 줘.
The dancing is great.
그러더라. 울고
So she cried, struggled.
프리스타일이지 않을까? 퍼디.
Suga wonders whether the dancing is freestyle or pre-practiced.
해결사.
중간 이동한 형이.
So apparently,
어쨌든 이 전반적인 내용이 릴리의 그런
이게 방황이
so the story is about Lily's journey, her struggle and her wandering.
저희들을 겪으면서 좀
스위밍 한다. 와, 저
And encountering us along the way, she keeps swimming.
호비 격해지는 거 봐.
비가 아유.
Look at J-Hope getting intense.
와, 나 이번이 난 이게 나 이게 제일
For Jimin, J-Hope's part is his favorite. Do I have it right here? Hold on. How many views does it currently have? BTS. Swim. 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 Da 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 da. Swim. Swim. Da 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 da. Swim. Like this part? Yeah. That's Jimin's favorite part. Splash. Drip.
이게 좋아.
와 진짜 너무 멋있어 너무 멋있어.
So cool.
달려갑니다 맨머리로.
이거 할 때 엄청 큰 무지개 떴었잖아요.
So at that point, so she finally runs to the bow of the ship, and while filming this, there was an enormous rainbow in the sky, and the rainbow is not CG, they said. Oh, interesting.
무기가 CG가 아니고 진짜입니다. 얼마나 잘 되려고.
So they were saying a sign of how well things are going to go. You know, the rainbow showing up.
다르긴 하다. 연기하는 게.
아 정말 다르죠.
너무 다르죠. 지금 이렇게 보니까.
So the actress is really indeed different, the way she's acting.
우리 7명이
네.
제복이랑 좀 잘 맞는다.
Here's an observation that Taeyong made after carefully watching. Seeing it now like this, the seven of us, the uniforms suit us well.
옛날에 제복소년단 몰라?
우리 그 뭐야 MBC 그.
Don't you know the nickname that we used to have? Uniform boy band? 제복소년단? 제복소년단. Here I think there. So this one and this one, the white uniform.
가요 대제전.
So with
그거
탈출 가요 대전입니다.
스윙이랑 곡이랑 딱 잘 맞게 어울려지게 나온 것 같아요. 네.
I think the swimming, the swim and song imagery fit together beautifully in this.
이게
영화 같아.
처음 보시면은 왜 갑자기 여주가 나오고
왜 이렇게 많이 나오고?
왜 방탄이들이 잘 안 나오고?
그러니까
Now, this was interesting. These guys knew exactly what kinds of reactions that some fans would have when they first watched this music video. Jimin started off the conversation. I think for some people seeing this for the first time, they might be wondering, why is there suddenly a female lead? And why does she appear so much? And why aren't the BTS members, why aren't they shown more?
왜 춤을 안 추고 입을
의문을
안 하고?
가지실 수 있지만
And why isn't there choreography?
이 음악을 설명하기 위해서 필요했던 선택이었던 것 같아요.
그러니까 이게
You might have those questions, but I think it was a necessary choice to convey this music, Jimin says.
저희가 안무든 뭐 뮤직비디오든 사실 그랬던 것 같아요. 이 음악을 가장 잘 표현하는 그 수단이 매개체가 돼야 된다. 이런 생각을
I believe that's true whether it's the choreography or the music video itself. The medium should be what best expresses the music.
보통은 이제
That's the
우리가
philosophy that they brought to it.
예전에 했던 것들은 사실 그런 것도 좀 많았잖아요. 그러니까 음악을 이 설명하는 영상들보다는
그렇죠.
각자의 이제 비주얼과 퍼포먼스를 보여주는 게 주였다는 거.
그렇게 해서 노래를 쉽게 만들.
In the past, a lot of what we did was more about showcasing each member's visuals and performance rather than videos that explain or illustrate the music. And that approach draws people in to hear the song.
이제 어쨌든 그거랑 좀 정반대의 이 선택하는데도 좀 우리끼리도 이야기가 많았잖아.
많았죠.
토론을 많이 했죠.
And this was almost the complete opposite of that. In fact, which is why we debated it so much among ourselves.
요즘은 다들 뮤비라는 거 자체가
They had a lot of discussions.
물론 이제 보여주는 그림도 있긴 하지만 음악이 좀 더 잘 들리게라는
네.
메시지도 전달을 해야 되다 보니까 우리의 수임이라는 음악을 어떻게 하면 더 잘 들리게 할 수 있을까에 대한 트리트먼트가
수정 많이
우리들끼리
했지.
수정을 되게 많이 했어요.
Nowadays, music videos, of course, have the visual side, but they also need to deliver the message of the music so it resonates more deeply. So the quote-unquote treatment for how to make Swim better heard, we revised it so many times.
그러니까 이게
So many
좋은
times.
변화라는 게 진짜 어렵잖아. 사실 변하면 기존에 익숙하신 분들은 당연히 반발하게 마련이에요.
우리도 그 얘기 많이 했죠. 이 뮤비가
And this kind of change is generally difficult because naturally, people familiar with what we have done will resist the change. And I think this portion is one of my favorite highlights from this live stream. Again, these guys know. They know what some fans would complain about. And the past music videos that they were talking about where each member's visuals are more emphasized and that could draw in people to watch the video and listen to music. That used to be like a traditional K-pop model. But now, these artists have matured and they want to create the music video in a way that it suits the song better and it delivers the song's message better. And I honestly believe that HYBE groups, HYBE artists, their music videos are kind of like that. If you watch K-pop, like traditional K-pop music videos, and some groups out there still follow that model where there are a bunch of flashy elements going on and members' face cards being used up front, and that's the whole point of the music video. This is K-pop music video, everybody. But for this one, it's really different. Of course, not that face cards are not used because they are being used naturally, because these guys have visuals. But you know what I'm saying.
나면은 욕을 더 많이 먹을까 사랑을 더 많이 받을까.
나는 이제 2026년
Jimin said this. We were wondering, once this music video gets released, would it get more love or would it get more hate?
욕도 사랑이라고 생각해. 관심 없으면 욕도 안 해.
Ooh. Now, RM said this. In 2026, I personally believe that the hate that we receive is also the love. Because if people don't care, they wouldn't hate either.
근데 어쨌든 새로운 도전이고.
근데 우리는 매일 그랬어요.
Now, Taeyong said, but for us, that has always been the case. Haters will hate, complainers will complain. I love it. The fact that these guys know exactly what is going on. Jimin said that this is also a new challenge every day.
새로운
근데
도전이고.
뭐 정확하게 말은 못하겠지만 이거 하나만 있는 건 아닐 거 아니야.
Suga, giving a little spoiler. I cannot say exactly, but this won't be the only thing, right?
아니 뭐야 이거?
우리 엄청 바빴잖아. 뭐 많이 했어?
RM goes, what is this? What is this Hyung even saying? And Suga goes, I'm starting to
보여주는 그림도 있긴 하지만 음악이 좀 더 잘 들리게라는
Wait, sorry.
메시지도 전달을 해야 되다 보니까
아니죠. 이 뮤비가 나면
I moved too much.
뭐 정확하게 말은 못하겠지만
Look at his pose. The way, his attitude.
아닐 거 아니야.
아니 뭐야 이거?
우리 엄청 바빴잖아.
We were very busy the whole time. We did a lot of things, right? Jimin goes, what kind of phrasing is this? What kind of tone are you using right now?
많이 했잖아. 이렇게 다가 아니잖아.
There's been a lot. This isn't all of it. We did a lot. RM goes, wait just a little longer.
이야기할 수 없지만.
근데 요 정도 스포는 또 해줘야. 아미 여러분들 기다릴 맛이 있어.
We cannot say everything yet, but giving this much of a hint is what keeps Army excited to wait.
아미분들이 원하는 거는 뭐
재밌는 것도 있고 뭐.
So what Army wants, there's fun stuff.
있겠죠.
There's
그렇죠.
네, 하여튼 스윙에 대한 이렇게
so chances are they have either another music video like a B-side or performance videos coming up that really has all those elements that some fans particularly love, you know, maybe member focused instead of a storyline focused video.
그림적인 부분에서는 시각적인 부분에서는 우리는 이런 그림을 원했다.
그렇지.
에 대한 걸 보여주고 싶었습니다.
근데 뭐
Anyways, in terms of the visual, the imagery, we wanted to show what picture we wanted to paint with this particular swim music video.
의도된 그림.
근데 뭐 이제 오늘 앨범 나왔으니까
Intentional imagery.
이게 쭉 이제 들으시겠지만 뭐 여러분들이 되게 최애곡들을 이렇게 좀 올려주시면 이제 그거 관련돼서 우리가 준비했던 것들 이렇게 우리가 또 보면서 이거 좋아할 줄 알았는데 또 그렇게 좋아해 주시네. 약간 이런 재미도 있을 것 같아요.
Now that the album is out, you will all listen through, and when you post your favorites, we will see which songs people love and have that, you know, fun of, oh, we knew they would love this one, and look, they really do, type of stuff.
기대가 많이 되고.
나도
I love Suga's energy during this live stream.
위버스로 여기 이거 라이브 하기 전에 한번 들어갔었거든요.
I checked Weverse before going live here, V says.
다들 플리즈도 생각보다 많이 좋아하시죠.
Please is getting way more love than expected.
아 진짜. 플리즈 약간 너무 그 순수하게 애정이 어린 곡이잖아.
It's a song of pure, uncomplicated affection.
안아달라 약간 이런 노래니까.
Like, just hold me, that kind of song.
이번 앨범이 어쨌든 저희가 공백기를 지나고 되게 오래 준비해서 나온 앨범이라서
Anyways, this album, it's been a long absence and a long preparation.
너무 많이 들어주시면 좋겠어요.
So please listen to it a lot.
근데 정말 최애곡이 계속 바뀔 거예요. 이제 저희가 뭐 콘서트도 할 거고 뭐 여러 가지를 지금 이제 미국도 곧
But honestly, your top song, your favorite song will keep changing.
가고.
We'll be doing concerts.
됐어요. 이거 스포일 아니에요. 그래서 이제
We're heading to the States, so on.
아마 이 노래에 대한
And that's already been announced, so no spoiler here.
이 어떤 자기 안에 있는 그런 최애 순위가 계속 바뀔 수 있다.
And as you experience those things, what you feel is your number one track will keep shifting. That's natural.
그것도 맞는 말이야.
그리고 내일 무대를 딱 보면 이해가 될 거예요 뭔가.
And seeing tomorrow's stage will make everything click.
갑자기 떨리는데요?
Oh, you're making me suddenly nervous.
갑자기 미안해지는데.
내일 무대하니까.
RM says, 갑자기 미안해지네. Suddenly, I'm feeling guilty.
내일
제발
내일
진짜.
무대를 보면 저거 이제 최애가 계속 바뀔 거야.
Yeah, so we have a stage tomorrow, and after seeing tomorrow's stage, their favorite song will keep changing. And Suga has filled it, confidence in his eyes. Check him out.
네, 이게 도대체 얼마 만에 무대에 서는
저는 그거
So the reality hit them. 당장 내일이잖아. Right, it's literally tomorrow. How long has it been since we stood on a stage?
제가 이번 앨범을 다 듣고 시각적으로 뮤비도 보고 나서 느낀 건데 우리 챕터 2가 너무 잘 보이긴 하는데 또 우리다워. 그래서 약간
After listening through the full album and watching the music video visually, our chapter 2 is so clearly visible, but it's also still us, still BTS.
더 약간 뭔가 신선하고
So is fresh and exciting. And all of a sudden, RM asks, 방탄다운이 뭔데? What does being BTS even mean?
이거요.
방탄다운 거.
방탄?
뭘 아는
여러분들,
BTS like.
드디어 내일. 그래서 좀 이야기를 해보시죠. 이제 이 관련해서.
So tomorrow,
그는 4년 만에. 그는 4년 만에 우리 단체 무대.
섭니다.
it's our first group stage in nearly 4 years.
진짜 기억도 안 난다. 부산 콘서트 진짜.
I can barely even remember the Busan concert, honestly.
22년 10월이에요. 10월 마지막.
So the last one happened on October 2022,
가기 전에
무대하기 직전이었구나.
right before they went to the military.
근데 좀 다른 형태로 오긴 했는데. 그러니까요. 저한테는. 어쨌든 왔네요.
넷플릭스 스트리밍에
Poor RM. So somebody said, 진짜 이날이 오다니. I cannot believe this day came. And RM said, it came in a somewhat different form for me.
방에서
but it's here regardless.
또 즐길 수가 있죠.
그렇죠. 넷플릭스 라이브 스트리밍으로
You can enjoy it on Netflix streaming as well.
내일 8시죠?
8 p.m.
한국 기준
Korea time.
오후 8시.
아 그리고 뭐 현장에 오시는 분도 그렇고 집에서 이제 뭐 이 화면으로 보시는 분들도
Whether you're coming in person or watching at home through a screen,
안전이 제일입니다.
please join us from wherever you are without pushing yourself safely. Safety above all, safety.
안전하게 좀 하시지.
안전이 제일이라고 합니다.
And these guys are making fun of RM by saying 안전하게 좀 하시지. You should have stayed safe.
제일이고 또 한 가지 당부의 말씀을 좀 드리자면 우리 팬 여러분뿐만 아니라 많은 인파가 좀 몰리는 만큼 무엇보다 안전, 진짜 다시 한번 안전이 제일 중요한 것 같습니다.
And safety first. And one more message: it's not just our fans, but given the large crowds expected, above all else, safety is the most important thing. Once more.
또 안내를 잘 따라주시면 감사하겠습니다.
현장에 오시는 우리 아미 여러분들 당일 안전 통제에 도움을 주시는 우리 경찰 관계자분들과 안전 요원 분들의 안내를 꼭 잘 따라주시면 정말 너무 감사하겠습니다.
And they decided to deliver the safety message again. Please follow the guidance of those directing and guiding you. We'll be so grateful. To Army coming in person, please follow the guidance of the police, officials, and safety personnel helping with crowd control on the day. We'll be so genuinely grateful.
맞습니다. 이제 저희를 만나러 오시고 또 돌아가시고 할 텐데 또 함께하는 순간이 다 너무 안전하고 편안하고 또 즐겁고
You'll be coming us.
그냥 즐겁기만 하고 끝났어요.
You'll be coming to see us and then heading home, and every shared moment in between. I want all of it to be safe, comfortable, and joyful. Just joyful, nothing else.
무사히 잘 여러분이 즐기고 또 안전하게 귀가하시는 모습까지 저희도
Safe and sound from start to finish. We want to see each of you enjoy it and return home safely. That's what we want to.
그래서 했을 때도 굉장히 안전하게 잘 끝났거든요.
At Yeouido last time, it all ended very safely and well.
여의도에서 어떤 걸?
그 이제 저희 10주년, 저
The
공연
10th anniversary festa,
공연하고 그랬었는데
where I performed solo. You were in the military already.
그리고 워낙 또
So there's already a good precedent. So Army handles it beautifully.
잘 하시니까
멋진 분들이니까
큰 문제 없이
멋진 분들이니까요. They always do it right. They are wonderful people. Describing Army.
잘 넘어가면 정말 좋은 공연이었다고 다들 해주실 거예요. 그리고 어쨌든 오늘 이렇게 앨범 이야기
If it all goes smoothly without major issues, everyone will agree that it was a wonderful concert.
같이 나눠봤는데 오래 기다려주신 만큼 저희도 되게 열심히 준비했거든요. 이 마음이 또 여러분들께 잘 전달되었으면 좋겠습니다.
And anyway, today we talked together about the album. We worked really hard to prepare, matching how long you waited. I hope that that heart reaches all of you well.
맞다. 그리고 저희 일주일 뒤에 3월 27일에는
In a week from now,
작업
March 27th, album making behind the scenes,
저희 비하인드를 담은
Netflix documentary capturing our behind the scenes will be released.
다큐 중에 제일 좋았던 것 같아요.
제일 좋았던 것 같아요. Suga says that's the best part.
아무래도
다큐멘터리도 약간
새로워 봤는데 너무 재밌어요.
BTS 30 time.
아무래도
So they have seen a rough cut and it's already so good.
넷플릭스에 저희 방탄이라는 이름으로 처음 나오게 되다 보니까 오늘 못다한 이야기도 그렇고 거기 안에 있는 되게 재미난 이야기들도 그렇고
So since it will be our first time on Netflix, there are going to be stories that we couldn't share today. Fun stories, serious stories.
이야기들도 그렇고
It's all in there. So please watch it with us.
참고로 그때는 저희 다 좀 통통합니다.
지금 그 얘기하려고
But for reference, we are all a bit chubbier in that footage. And Jimin, without missing a beat, chimes in. I was actually just about to say that.
다들 한 10kg씩 더 있어.
나딱 10kg 뺐다.
Everyone has about 10 kilograms more on them.
저는 지금 여기서 팔뚝 보는데 와 진짜 내가 언제 이렇게
So V's looking through that booklet,
저도 9kg
and he was like looking at my arm right now. Wow, when did I have such a thick arm?
이렇게 뺐는데 그때 이게 쉽지 않은
그게 다큐멘터리인 거야.
Jimin said I lost about 9 to 10 kilograms too, and that time I had this a face that was not so easy to look at or something like.
다큐입니다.
My face was literally a documentary.
아니 나도 진짜 애들을 되게 오랜만에 보는 상태였는데 애들이 다 이만해져가지고 운동도 막 분량 나보다 막 10kg, 20kg 더 뛰고.
아니야.
Jin says, I was seeing the guys for the first time in a while, and they, you guys had gotten so much bigger, lifting like 10 kilograms, 20 kilograms more than me while they were working out.
그래서 제가 그때 라이브 하면서 그런 얘기를 한 적이 있었어요.
팔뚝. Jungkook is continuing to talk about, I think, the thickness of the arms of certain members in the booklets.
나는 이제 마른 게 내 자신이 마른 게 죽음인데 나한테 막 운동 막 이런 걸 애들이 강요를 했다.
요새 열심히 하잖아요.
So I even mentioned it in a live stream once. Like, being thin is my identity, and these guys keep forcing me to work out. But RM immediately points out, but Hyung, you've been really going hard with workouts lately though.
그러니까 누구보다 열심히 하는데?
These days, you do it more than anyone.
맨날 해요.
컨디셔닝 수준으로 저는 이제 몸이 안 좋아져서 좀 늙어가지고.
거짓말 치지 마. 맨날 자 정국아 이거 봐봐 만져봐 이러.
So Jin works out every day now, as these members say. But Jin states that I'm just not, feeling well lately, getting older, so I'm trying to be in shape. But Jungkook says, don't say that, because you always say to me, hey, Jungkook, check this out, feel this.
또 생겨 나오지 않았냐?
생긴 거 같지 않냐 좀?
강요를 했다.
요새 열심히 하잖아요.
우리한테서 뭐 엄청난 근육을
요새
wanna-
열심히 하잖아요.
Watch that one more time.
그래서 운동 맨날 해요.
컨디셔닝 수준으로 저는 이제 몸이 안 좋아져서 좀 늙어가지고.
거짓말 치지 마. 맨날
거짓말 치지 마요. Don't lie.
자 정국아 이거 봐봐 만져봐 이러.
You always say to me, 정국아, 와서 만져봐. Hey, check this out, touch this.
또 생겨 나오지 않았냐?
생긴 거 같지 않냐 좀?
생긴 것 같지 않냐? I think he's talking about his abs. Don't you think my abs are now showing up?
영어 말라서 진짜 말랐잖아요.
그렇지.
그래서 사실 우리한테서 뭐 엄청난 근육을 기대하기는 어려운데 자꾸 만져보라고.
형 어깨가 원래 운동 처음 시작.
Jin is so thin. Like you cannot really expect enormous muscles from us, and yet he keeps telling us to, hey, feel this, check this out. And they're saying that that's normal when you first start exercising.
이게 모르시겠지만 저 운동 좀 못해요.
Jin says, you might not know this, but I've been exercising for 15 years. And check out what RM says in response.
안무 15년 차예요.
I'm 15 years into doing choreography myself.
네, 아무튼 그리고 또 저희는 이제 앞으로 전 세계 34개
That was funny.
만나게 되는데요.
중요하죠.
간다.
We'll be meeting ARMY in 34 cities around the world.
간다.
간다 means we are going.
항상 기다려주신 만큼 또 좋은 무대와 좋은 음악으로 또 찾아뵙도록 열심히 준비하고 있으니까 많은 분들이 좋아해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
In return for all your long waiting, we're working hard to come to you with great stages and great music. We hope so many of you will love it. It will be fun.
가자.
저희 앨범 나왔습니다.
Our album is out.
오늘 또 좀 편안한 마음으로 자고
Tonight, let's all sleep peacefully.
가지고 또 내일 잘해야죠.
Take care of our conditions and do well tomorrow.
잘해야죠.
저희는 이제 지금 이거 끝나고 또 그래도 준비를 해야죠.
And after this ends, we still have to go to prepare.
되고 저희 할 것들도 있으니까 또 뒤에 일정들이 있기 때문에 또 오늘 또 여기서 한번
And there are things to take care of
각자 마무리.
with schedules coming up. So let's close here.
듣기 전에 뭐 한 분씩 소감이라도 뭐
짧게 한번 얘기해 볼까요?
Before we wrap up, how about a few words from each person?
소감.
Just briefly.
소감이란 거는 저는
As for impressions,
이번에 시간이 뭔가 많은 것들을 설명해주지 않나라는 생각이 들고
I think the time that's passed says it all.
그만큼 저희도 기다려
We waited.
여러분도 기다려
You waited.
앨범이라고 생각이 들어요. 그래서 이 앨범이 나왔을 때
That is the album.
너무 감개무량하고
So when it finally came out, I felt so moved and so proud.
앞으로는
From here on,
즐겁게
I hope every day
있었으면 좋겠습니다.
is one we spend enjoying and having fun.
많이 사랑해 주시고
Please give 아리랑 lots of love.
재밌게 즐겨봐요.
Let's keep having fun together.
저는 글쎄요 다 같이
For me,
모였다는 것 자체가
Just the fact that we are all gathered again
기적이고
feels truly
너무
miraculous.
감사한 일이라는 생각이 들고 오늘
Something to be
이렇게
deeply grateful for.
같이 모여서 앨범이 나와서 그 앨범에 대해서 얘기하는 순간을 진짜 한 몇십만 번의 시뮬레이션 했던 것 같아요.
And the moment of all being here together as an album comes out and talk about it, I must have simulated this moment hundreds of thousands of times.
군대에서도 그렇고
In the military,
안 하고 있을 때도 그렇고
in times when I wasn't working.
것 자체가 저는 너무 감동적이고
So the reunion itself moves me profoundly.
어쨌든 또 사실 변하려고 하는 마음과 또 저희가 이제 또 아까 태영이가 말했던 방탄다운 이런 거 사이에서 저희가 많이 갈등하고 고민하고 서로 말도 진짜 많이 해보고 그렇게 해서 나온 결과물이에요. 그래서 사실
But between the desire to change and grow and what Taeyang called BTS-ness, we wrestled, debated, and talked so much. And this is what came from that.
이 다 큰 30대 성인 남자 7명이 같이 여전히 무언가 같은 목표와 꿈을 향해서 나아간다는 것 자체가
너무 소중하죠.
너무 행운이라는 생각이 들고
You know, 7 full-grown men in their 30s still moving together toward the same dreams and goals. I feel so lucky.
제가 비록 이제 발목 때문에 내일 저의 진짜 비장의 안무를 보여드리지 못하게 됐는데
Even though because of my ankle, I won't be showing my secret weapon choreography tomorrow.
최선을 다해서 내일 무대를 준비를 할 거고요.
But I will still prepare everything for tomorrow's stage.
분을 믿고 이렇게 거의 근 14년을 왔습니다.
We have come nearly 14 years trusting in you.
여러분은 그런 힘이 있는 분들이기 때문에
You're the kind of people who have that power.
만큼 저희가 더 강하고 아름답게 같이 헤엄쳐 나가보도록 하겠습니다.
So with the love that you have given us, let's swim forward together, stronger
앞으로도 열심히 킵 스위밍 하시지.
and more beautiful. So let's keep swimming, everybody.
젠!
네, 저 솔직하게 말해서
Honestly speaking,
하고 저 혼자 활동을 한 1년에서 1년 반 정도 먼저
after being discharged and promoting solo for about a year to a year and a half, I was so lonely.
외로웠는데 이렇게 최근 몇 달 동안 우리 멤버들과 함께하니까 너무 즐겁고 행복한 시간이었는데 이 시간이
But these past few months being with the members again has been such joyful, happy time.
저는 앞으로도 오랫동안 계속 지속되었으면 좋겠습니다.
I hope this time continues for a long, long time to
우리
come.
팀하고 같이 활동하는 게 너무 좋더라고요.
I love doing activities with our team so much.
앞으로도 잘 부탁드립니다.
So please continue to take good care of me
드립니다.
and good take care of us.
마태형.
네. 저 앨범 준비하면서 되게 재밌었는데
While preparing the album, I really had fun.
들도 사실 저희는 저희 곡을 너무 많이 들어가지고
And the songs, we have listened to our own songs so many times now
이제 앨범 나왔으니까
since the album is out.
좀 잘 즐겨주시고 또 녹음도
Please enjoy the songs well.
녹음했거든요.
We recorded really earnestly.
많이 하고 각자
Everyone practiced hard.
좀 전 앨범과는 뭐가 많이 달라졌는지 그런 것 좀 봐주시면서 되게 재밌게 즐겨주시면 될 것 같습니다.
So while noticing how things have changed from previous albums, please enjoy it all and please look forward to
그리고 무대 기대해 주시고
the stage
투어 준비 열심히 하겠습니다.
and we'll prepare hard for the tour. I love you.
내일 무대인데 오늘 여드름 났습니다.
Tomorrow is the stage and today I got pimples.
축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
2개가 났습니다. 턱에 나고 코에 났습니다.
I have 2 on my chin and a nose.
태영이가
On my nose.
하려고 하면 뼈를
뼈리가 나왔을 때.
와, 나
Back in the day, every time Taehyung was about to do activities, he got pimples. Didn't he?
진짜 스트레스 받았었는데.
태영이는
It was so stressful, Taehyung says.
근데 보통 크기가 아니긴 했어. 태영이 크기는.
But for Taehyung, the pimples were so large.
야 이거는 어떻게 여기서 이게 나오냐 약간 싶을 정도.
그래서 멤버들
And J-Hope was like, how are these pimples of this size even possible?
안 된다면 나중에 연습하다가 요 앞에 잠깐 주사 맞으러
탄영.
So Jimin says, so if it's not too much trouble for you guys, maybe during practice, I will quickly step out to get like a shot. I think
오늘 맞아야 내일 사라지기 때문에
염증 주사.
두개 났습니다.
So like a shot that calms down the face to get rid of those 2 pimples.
이거 일자로 이렇게 났냐?
How do they appear in such a neat line?
지금은 메이크업 선생님이 열심히 이렇게 눌러주셨는데 아무튼
The makeup artist has been working hard, pressing them down. But
그만큼 설레는 것 같습니다 지금 내일.
I think that just shows how excited I am for tomorrow.
막 터질 만큼 설레.
와 짜릿합니다.
Like it might just burst out from the excitement.
너 누구 좋아하는구나.
이게 내일
You must have a crush on someone.
무르익어 있을까?
잘하죠.
눌러질까 이게?
그게 기대감이었구나.
굉장히 짜릿한데요.
So for Jimin, the challenge is, the question is, will those pimples have ripened by tomorrow, or will they be like, pressable or pressed down or calm down?
그만큼 내일이 너무 설레고
That's how thrilling tomorrow's stage is.
기다려주신 여러분들께 도대체 어떻게 감사의 인사를 항상 해야 될지 늘 고민이 되고
I always wonder how to properly express gratitude to everyone who waited.
그냥 저희가 할 수 있는 거는 늘 뭐 같은 말밖에 못해서 너무 죄송하지만 좋은 무대와 좋은 음악을 선사하는 게 저희가 할 수 있는 최고의 보답인 것 같아요.
I can only ever say the same words, and I'm sorry for that, but I think delivering great stages and great music is the best thank you we can offer.
그래서 이번에 내일 무대도 그렇고 이번 앨범도 그렇고 이번 콘서트도 그렇고 저희가 정말 최선을 다해서 보시면 아시겠지만 정말 최선을 다해서 준비하고 있습니다. 그러니까 기대 많이 해주시고 여러분.
So for tomorrow's stage, for this album, for this concert, you will see when you watch that we have truly given everything in preparation.
저한테 꼭 선물이 될 수 있게 노력 많이 하겠습니다.
And we will hard to make it a gift for you.
너무 감사하고 사랑하고 내일 뵙겠습니다.
Thank you so much. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
한 3년 한 6개월 만에 우리 다 같이 이제 7명이서 무대를 하는 건데.
In about 3.5 years, the 7 of us are stepping on stage together.
물론 다큐멘터리에 좀 녹아져 있긴 하지만 진짜 뭐 그냥 단순히 우리가 뭐 그때 그랬잖아 이렇게 이야기해서 그렇지 진짜 엄청 노력하고 엄청 고생해서 만든 앨범이니까.
The preparation process is partly captured in the documentary, but honestly, it's not something that we are just saying for the sake of saying these things. Like, do you remember we used to do this, blah, blah, blah. No, honestly, we worked incredibly hard and
즐겁게 들어주시고.
went through so much to make this album. So please enjoy listening to it.
무대 기대하셔도 좋습니다.
And you can definitely look forward to the stage tomorrow.
특히나 이제 투어 관련해서도
And for the tour
정말
too,
많이 여전히 하고 있으니까요.
we're still deep in preparation.
정말 기대 많이 해주시고
Please have high expectations.
내일 안전하고 즐겁게.
Let's make tomorrow safe and fun together. Thank you.
윤기 형 패춘해가지고 지금.
그러니까 뒷머리 잘라가지고 막.
윤기 has 회춘해가지고 has had his second youth. 뒷머리 잘라가지고 because he cut his back hair.
자신이랑 낯가리는 것 같은데.
And after the haircut, he seems to be getting shy around himself. RM comments.
할 말 까먹었는데.
I forgot what I was going to say.
저는 그냥 뭐랄까 이 시간을 되게 많이 기다려왔었던 것 같아요.
I've just been waiting so long for this moment.
무대를 안 한 지가 꽤나 저희 7명이 시간이 너무 길었다 보니까
Since it's been quite a while since the 7 of us were on stage together.
이 무대를 했을 때 우리의 뭔가 예전에 했었던 그런 에너지가 그 현장에서 다시금 나올까라는 기대 반 걱정 반이 있었던 것 같은데
There was both anticipation and worry about whether that old energy would come back in that moment.
우리가 연습을 하면서 보여줬던 그런 모습들을 보니까 저는 예전보다 더 멋있다고 생각을 하거든요.
But seeing what we showed in practice, I honestly think we look even more amazing than before.
모습이 지금
Right now.
그거를 하루 빨리 보여드리고 싶어요.
And I want to show that as soon as possible.
근데 이제 아무래도 이제 남준 형이 댄스를 못 보니까
And with Namjoon Hyung not being able to dance,
원래 3단 트월킹 준비했어요.
he had a 3-tier troll. Twerking. 3-tier twerking move prepared.
그 멋있었는데 3단 트월킹.
3-tier twerking.
위 중간 아래 바로 찍는
그래서
Top, middle,
완준이
bottom.
형이 이제 재활을 열심히 해가지고 저희 7명의 진짜 정말 진짜 더 극대화된 에너지로 아미분들을 빨리 찾아가고 싶어요. 그래서 일단
Once Namjoon Hyung recovers well, we want to reach as many people as possible with all 7 of us at our absolute peak energy.
내일 공연 안전하게 그리고 되게 멋있게 잘하겠습니다.
So for now, tomorrow's concert will be safe and will be great.
아
Yes.
좋습니다.
설레네요. 설렙니다. 진짜로.
So excited, genuinely so excited.
내일 무대를 위해서 또 남은 한번 해보러 가겠습니다.
Thank you for being here with us, and we're going to go
지금까지
take care of the remaining preparations for tomorrow's stage.
BTS였습니다. 내일 봐요. 감사합니다.
See you tomorrow. We've been BTS 방탄소년단. Love you. That was a wonderful live stream. And like I said in the beginning, this live stream made me appreciate the album even further. I love the energy till the end. Jungkook is doing the rap for RM. Too unfortunate that RM got injured, but you know, they will get through it. And like they said, this is another challenge for them to swim through. And the amount of excitement and confidence and conviction that we just witnessed in the members, I am very excited about that. So what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. What stood out to you from this live stream? What were some of your highlights? What were some of your favorite quotes? Leave them all in the comment section. And I am very excited about what to come. And I'm about to listen to the whole album from top to bottom again. All right? Let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.